we wait for YouTube to do its YouTube things to be here. I think it did it. Whoa, live streaming, movies, media.
Yay!
Whoa.
Hello.
That's
Hi, people.
hello, hi. Hello Metal, you're working, but chat isn't. Damn it. Well, chat is not awake yet. We need to give chat some time, AWOL. It's all good. It's all good. I'm barely alive as well, so that's fine. These 9-hour EFAPs take a toll, okay?
I see the chat.
Yeah, no, it's fine. There was just no one in there yet, obviously, because we just started. Let me post that tweet in Heimers. But yes, hello. How's it going, Chad? We're doing Sunday stuff.
Jojo.
So is Jojo, having all the fun over there. Sorry, just sorting out all the clicky things I gotta do here, but I think I have everything going on. But yes, things happening. Movies been watched. We finally. I'm done with Arcane season 2 finally, so that's good.
Hooray!
The episode 8 and 9 we did on EFAB last night took us 9 hours to go through, and then we talked some meta stuff as well, by some tweets from the creators and things he wrote on. He kind of answered messages like a redditor, which was really cringe. So they need to take away his Twitter ASAP. It's actually kind of bad. That's a lie. You'll never be rid of it. Probably not.
Yeah, it's a real shame when people don't understand what made their previous work great, and then they get indignant about it. Like,
oh yeah, he legit like wrote like a redditor. Like he answered to some people and it's like, "Oh, Katie, sweetie," and then starts writing like some smug shit, and it's like, "Damn, you guys need to stop him from doing this." Because nobody liked this, even the ones who like season 2. So yeah, it was pretty bad move.
am I low? Can you not hear me?
Wait, I can boost you up here a little bit. I'll put you to like 130 because you sound good. So just don't change anything.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll just boost you on my side a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty low on my mixing board, so I do have room to push it up. But
Yeah.
if you can do it on your end, then that works.
Do to 150. Let me know, Chad. Let me know. Let me know. Right. It's one thing to smug and cringe and correct, but to be smug and cringe and wrong, oof. Yeah. Arcane season 2 is bad. It is bad. You are correct. I got a little slurp there for chat. Hope you like some slurping. I was thinking what's been going on over the last week. What have I been doing except being annoyed at media? I mean, I guess that's what I do, huh? Yeah, just been prepping stuff for the recordings we're gonna do for when I'm over at the Long Man. So yeah, next week is gonna be a bit hellish for me. In terms of doing media things, we gotta do the recordings the first 2 recordings for the Forges. Then I have to go to the office one day. I'm gonna stream some Indiana Jones tomorrow, and then I have 2 real life appointments with people, which will be fun, but also time consuming. So I basically have anything like every day of the week. So that's gonna be great. Which means we shall skip a Forge next week. So I have the time to actually get everything sorted otherwise. Because honestly, I actually have no idea when I would be able to watch another movie in between all of this. So I know maybe I'll just stream some video games or whatever on that Sunday. Or, just sleep and catch up on all that sleep. We will see. But yeah, then after this, I'm on vacation. I only have 2 more days of work in the office, and then I'm on vacation for like 4 weeks. 2 of those I will be spending over at Mahler's place.
I've got 2 more weeks of work and then I'm off for 3.
Nice. I'm so ready for vacation. Work has been so annoying. It's this thing, like it
Hasn't
feels
been
like they
bad on
were
my
all
end.
asleep all year, and then in the last 2 months they were like, oh wait, there's this guy who does things for us. Here, can you do all these things before the year ends? It's like, not really, but I can do most of it, I guess.
They had the weird on Thursday we had like 6 wrist injuries and I was like, what the hell? It's like what are people doing to their wrist at this time of year?
hmm But yeah, it's annoying. I'm ready for a vacation, and I'm gonna be looking forward to have the vacation. Um, but yeah, this means the last life forge for the year will be on the 22nd, yes.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the Rohirrim movie. I always want to call it a show. For some reason, I always think it's a show, but it's a movie.
Yeah, anime movie.
Animated movie.
Lord of the Rings anime. That
Yeah.
apparently is not great, but we'll give it a shot.
Yeah, we're going to check it out and have a talk about it. And I think Random Film Talk said he might be able to join us for that, so that should be fun. That should be fun stuff. But yeah, that's what's been going on. Funny enough, during the EFAB last night, I played some Zenless Zone Zero. It's like one of those Hoyoverse games.
Hoyoverse.
It's actually kind of fun. Like the game mechanics are actually pretty satisfying. It's like a parry, dodge, switch character at the right time mechanic. So action.
Oh yeah, Slitterhead's kind of like that too.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like it. It's kind of fun to just play on the side. Don't ask me about any of the story. I skipped that. I just wanted to do something while talking for 9 hours, so I just started.
Yeah,
slashing
I probably played about 10 hours of Genshin Impact when I was working on this Breath of the Wild video I was doing for Geeks and Gamers a few years ago, and I could not tell you anything about the story.
Oh yeah, that's Oh, the Genshin. When this first came out, I actually played all the content up to one point until I got to only the grinding, and I haven't touched it since. And I think there's like probably 50 hours more content now I could play if I ever choose to go back.
Yeah, Maple Syrup's got a point. And Indiana Jones comes out on Game Pass, I think tomorrow or
Yes,
Tuesday
tomorrow.
or something.
If you bought the Super Duper edition, you were able to play it.
Some people have been playing it. Yeah,
it was Mala already checked it out. I will be checking it out tomorrow. I meant to play it on Friday, but I actually, again, no time to do that. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to check that out. From what I've seen on Mala's stream, it looks kind of like not the most awful thing, but it looks a bit.
not really. Like I'm hearing a lot of good things about it, but yeah, I don't know.
It looks kind of.
Machine Games is good. Like I mean, they're a good dev. They're hit or miss though, because I mean, I liked Wolfenstein: The New Order was incredible. The Old Blood, which was kind of the standalone expansion for it, that was effectively kind of a remake of Wolfenstein 3D, but like kind of a shorter one. And those were both great. New Colossus is kind of good because it's so crazy, but it's also a little weird in a lot of places, and the level design is kind of crap, which I wasn't expecting.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, then Wolfenstein Youngblood was horrendous. And but I think that Arcane, Arcane, not the show, the developer, but the ones in Arcane Austin who made Redfall, I think they were the ones who mostly developed Youngblood, and like Machine Games was just kind of responsible for the Wolfenstein stuff in it. But yeah, it wasn't amazing. So. And like when I saw they were doing Indiana Jones, I was just like, oh man, is this just gonna be T-rated Wolfenstein? Like that sucks. 'Cause Wolfenstein execution animations are amazing, but it seems like it's more it's like open area kind of your Indiana Jones, and you have to go and find things and research stuff and solve puzzles, and then every so often there's combat as opposed to it just being a first-person shooter where you have a whip.
But yeah, we're gonna be checking that out tomorrow. I want to play that for a couple of hours, probably like 4, 5, 6. I don't know. We'll see. It's on Game Pass, so I don't really have any downsides of checking it out. So if it's bad, I didn't pay anything extra. So there you go. Game Pass just keeps paying for itself. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
I feel like there's at least one game every month where I'm just gonna at least check it out and can tell.
I mean, like,
play more.
I played a good chunk of Stalker 2, but for some reason I got kind of switched off Stalker 2, which I was debating how much time I wanted to sink in just because of how much energy and thought it demands, and was thinking,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have the energy for something like this right now. And then I started playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which like makes me think like, okay, well, that's it's like, yeah, I guess I don't know. That's the one that pulled me in, it seemed, and yeah, I might get back to Stalker at some point though, because hey, it's a Microsoft published game, so it's probably not ever leaving Game Pass. So
Yeah.
I
Well,
technically
I
have
forgot
it.
it's on Game Pass. I bought it on Steam.
Ah, there you go.
But that game is a bit of a miracle that it came out at all, considering what the studio went through with the whole Ukraine-Russia war happening.
Yeah.
Like I think their studio got like blown to bits, and one of the devs died and shit. So
Same with 4A Games, who made the
Hmm.
Metro games. They were in Ukraine, and during the Crimea incident,
Oh
like
shit.
10 years ago or whatever, they moved from Ukraine to Malta, which is actually where my mother's family is from. I'm half
There you
Maltese.
go. But yeah, I haven't played more Stalker just because of time. Like I don't know, these last couple of weeks have been fucking busy as shit for me, online and offline. Like I don't know what's going on. Normally it's a pretty good balance, but this time around, I don't know. Like everything just went crazy with all the media coming out, and uh, yeah, obviously I had no time to actually work on my videos anymore, which is annoying because still there's a half finished video on like right there. You would just need like a day or two to finish it up, but nope, not happening. So that's gonna be my beginning of the year project, getting all the Rings of Power videos out. So that's not over. I still want to finish it, but you know, time is a thing, unfortunately. That
Time is everybody's enemy.
you know, and
This would be really nice if we could turn it back, though. Like, come on, Tony Stark. I thought you figured that shit out in an afternoon.
yeah, exactly, idiot. Um, but yeah, I know it's that's just how it is. That's just how
Yeah.
you got to deal with it when you're doing an IRL job and also want to do the YouTube thing. So thing is, if
Maple
I do
Syrup has
8
actually
hours,
met my Maltese mom. She killed her in a film I made.
no. But yeah, the thing is, like I said it before, having 8 hour of work in IT in front of a PC, you can only do so much editing right after before your brain just goes like, you need to stop. You need to go around, maybe have a walk or something.
Yeah.
That's probably like the biggest problem with doing this, finding good balance. But you know, that's just how it is. I'll go through and
Yeah.
things.
It's one of the reasons why I've been kind of entirely stepped away, and I'm doing my best to be able to stay in the army now.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think I'm in great shape right now, though. So there's
that's
that.
awesome. Yeah. I've been eating like shit. I actually, as soon as my vacation's over, I need to go on like a 3 month diet. I gained weight back again. Like nothing super crazy, but still, it annoys me. Because
Yeah, I'm
busy.
I'm shy of having like full blown abs, but like my
Ooh.
body fat percentage is probably the lowest it's been in like 5-6 years.
Nice. Nice. But yeah, that's just what's going on. Yeah, it's gonna.
I suppose we can start talking about Z film though.
I guess
Which is,
so.
speaking of army,
Speaking of the army, yeah, but is maybe a reminder before we go. If anyone has like any suggestions for movies that we should consider covering, write us a message in the Discord or tag
and
me
the
on
Forge.
Twitter, us on Twitter or whatever, wherever it's fitting for you. We're gonna put it on our big old list, and on days like this, we're just gonna go through the list, and you're like, you know what, we're gonna do this one tonight
Yeah.
because sometimes there's just nothing new or super exciting going on, so we just grab like a classic or maybe just something from the list. And yeah,
That's what we did this week.
This is what we did.
This is a list film.
a list film, dude. Exactly.
Oh, basketball. Actually, that's a pretty good suggestion.
Oh shit, I remember that one. I feel like
I haven't seen that in years. Either. It's a
same.
funny movie.
I remember loving it as a teen, so I don't know how funny it actually is, but
I will always remember them. I think it was Squeak, the like little guy's name. He like Trey Parker writes the insults that he has to use to the pitcher or whatever, or
Oh,
the
okay.
catcher or something like that on his hand, and he's like, "Hey, I had sex with your grandma last night," and the guy's like, "My grandma's dead," and then he's reading his hand. He's like, "Oh, that's why she didn't move around very much."
I I joined Discord, couldn't keep up with the memes, and forgotten my login, so I just keep reminding you here. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Boondock Saints. I haven't seen those in a while. I always enjoyed the first one. I think the second one was a bit crazy because like the father or something came up.
I don't remember very much about the second one. I've watched the first one several times, so it's a fun movie.
I remember the one guy jumping off the the roof with the toilet in his hand.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. I love Major Payne. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
Military. That's the movie we're talking about today. It's Major Payne. I remember watching this movie a long time ago. This is actually the first time I've seen it in English, because I'm pretty sure the first time I've seen it, I did not watch it in English.
Oh, man.
But the laugh still the same in German, because I did remember the laugh for sure. It was like it's very distinct. I immediately hear that laugh in my head.
I'm now so curious as to what the German dub of fucking Major Payne would have sounded like.
I should have gone and found it or something to listen back to it. It's so funny because there's a lot of movies I've rewatched over the course of the last couple of years that I've never seen in English before. And it's just, oh man, this is way better in English. At least for me. Like, I still have a bunch of friends who go to the cinema and watch them in German. That's why I almost never go with them, because I can't bear the German dubs. They're mostly like not great. But luckily I have a friend who thinks the same, so I always go with him to the cinema. Or, go by myself, like the loser I am.
I can watch dubbed anime. I can't watch dubbed live action stuff, though. It's too weird for me. Although, I guess that's a lie, I guess, because there's one dub that I watched fairly recently that I actually liked, and it is that Predator movie called Prey. There's a Comanche dub where all the like Comanche characters in the movie actually speak the Comanche language. And it's the actual actors doing the dub, too. Like, they learnt it, and apparently it was the studio that refused to let them make Comanche the primary language they speak, because there'd effectively be no English in the movie, because I think it's just Comanche and French. But, yeah, it's better, though, because the Comanche warriors and hunters don't sound like 20-somethings from California, and that does make it better. And yeah, that actually, No Pants Baby's got it right. Edgerunners dub is actually kind of better, because they sound like people from Night City in that one, as opposed to just sounding like Japanese people.
Oh.
Night City being where Cyberpunk takes place. Edgerunners being the Cyberpunk anime. Okay, in case anyone's unclear as to why I said that. I
like Edgerunners. It was pretty fun, pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be a good one to do for an Anime Forge. It's not super long.
I already did that.
Fuck.
Yeah, I did that with Meme, and I tortured him through the whole series while he was super tired. Yeah, I like it. I think it could have used way more episodes to flesh out a couple of things, because it moves very fast towards the end.
Yeah, and there's a big time jump too. It's sort of similar to, like, there's some similarities between it and Gurren Lagann, which is made by the same guy, where it's like you have a sort of like a young kid who's not really great at stuff, and then looks up to this like older guy that's like really, really awesome at doing things. Then there's a time jump, and you see the young kid kind of becoming what he wanted to be. But Gurren Lagann's a lot more hopeful. Edgerunners gets pretty dark even by the end.
Yes. Yeah, Edgerunners. I would recommend it. I think it was pretty good overall.
Yeah. Reinvigorated a lot of interest in Cyberpunk. Actually, the last video I made was a second Cyberpunk video on the Edgerunner update. And now that's kind of obsolete, because 2.0 sort of changed all of the mechanical things I talk about in that video.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes, eh?
Yeah.
The lolly does not make it. Wasn't there like an interview where they said the lolly stays in or something?
Yeah, although in that sense they're not using lolly as a description of a type of hentai. They're using lolly as a description of a character type, which is just a petite girl who's like flat chested. And
I just remember that being a quote, and made me laugh when I first read it. Stays.
Rebecca is an adult, though. That is important to remember through that entire show.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, Major Payne. So maybe this is a 1995 movie, and that is what the movie is. It is from the 90s. This movie bleeds 90s. I feel like
Yeah, yeah,
that's
it's
like this is the time frame where a lot of the military movies came out
mhm.
over the course of the years before it. So this is very much it's a parody of all the drill sergeant scenes, pretty much. I feel like that's the base of it, like the roots. Um, oh,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
had
definitely.
my
I
brain just
think that
stopped. I wanted to say more, but go ahead.
it's got a lot
Uh,
of elements of like 90s sports movies as
yes,
well, where
yeah,
like Mighty Ducks or something, where it's like this down and out person who used to be kind of a big deal ends up coaching a bunch of misfits and trying to find a way to turn them into champions, sort of. But instead of it
yeah,
being a sport, it's like junior reserve officer training corps stuff, like JROTC. That's what that stands for. And basically army cadets and them doing like drill and things.
yeah.
And yes, okay, I know Rebecca does have curves. She's not like totally flat chested, but she's a slight petite woman with gigantic robot hands.
Oh yeah, just like these really large augments. I
I'm
remember.
more of a Lucy guy though. Like I think Lucy's more my type.
Mm. But yeah, Major Payne. We set the stage for our main character, and immediately just the way he moves through this area. So we started like some kind of war area thing. I don't even know if we know where exactly. But it's basically, yeah, this is war thing attack. We got our man right here, and you just see him like this is the first thing we see by our guy. He just moves through this fields or the train tracks
Yeah.
sideways. It goes like boop, 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 not getting shot at
Yeah,
all.
he's basically in like a South American jungle, sort of like the intro to Predator, like or like the I guess place where they were going in Predator, like take out a cartel outpost, and he's just like not using anything resembling good tactics.
No.
Just like yeah, he's just like taking everybody out. It's just sort of immediately implied that yeah, this guy is just an incredible killer, but it's also very much a comedy movie that is very silly. So
Yeah.
it's Damon Wayans basically doing an In Living Color character in a full blown movie. In
Yeah.
Living Color, sorry, being the sketch comedy show that Damon Wayans did, like in the '90s. It's
Yeah.
also where Jim Carrey came from.
No. Okay. Yeah. While the scene is happening, there's just Bad to the Bone playing in the background as well. Uh,
Yeah, and Steppenwolf.
and then I should probably play the audio here a little bit because you need to hear his voice because his voice is not badass at all. He sounds like an absolute goober and it's hilarious.
Oh yeah, yeah. He sounds ridiculous through this entire film.
Yeah. Let me play this here real quick. Why she little trick? You may feel a little pressure. But yeah, we're setting the stage pretty quickly. Like, this is gonna be a funny, goofy movie for sure. Because basically the guy
Yeah.
is missing an arm, or what was it? Hang on, let me go back a couple of seconds. Of course, I go. Oh no, wait, his one of his arms is fucked up, or is fuck. What was it? Am I stupid? No, it's his arm. I'm not stupid. And it's like, oh, it hurts so much. It's like, I got a little trick. I'm gonna apply a little bit of pressure, and then he just grabs his ring finger and just
Yeah.
snaps it in half, and the guy goes like, ah, my finger, ah, and the Major Way just says, works every time. So, this is actually one of the things I remembered vividly from this movie, because I the first time I saw that, I was laughing my ass off. But yeah,
For
he does.
Slumpy's comment there, the one I know one actress that started out as a fly girl on In Living Color, which were like the dancers, and that was Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, okay. Wait, what's my
In Living Color
subtitles?
gave us Damon Wayans, or really the Wayans brothers, and Jim Carrey and J Lo.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I had that wrong. Apparently, it was George Thorogood who did Bad to the Bone. Born to Be Wild was Steppenwolf.
But yeah, he quote unquote saves his comrade, and then he just takes like a rope from the roof and goes inside the I don't know, inside the baddie's headquarters or warehouse or whatever the fuck it is. And then he takes the commander hostage, like, oh no, stop, senor, you can't kill us all. And he says, nope, but I can clean your colon out quicker than one of them burritos with extra guacamole sauce.
Yeah.
And the guy just
It's
goes
weird.
like,
I was like, does guacamole clean your colon out? I didn't know. Like, it's a good fat. It's
yeah,
relatively healthy, but
I don't know.
high fiber. I don't know. It's probably
I would
the
have
beans
expected
that'll
it to be like chilies or something. I mean,
Yeah. He pronounces guacamole really weird too. I kind of forget exactly how he says it, but I was like,
oh yeah, he has like
guacamoles.
a guacamole something. Yeah, yeah. But then the guy was like, "Oh no!" And then we just cut away and just escorts all of the soldiers that that are here. They didn't kill them. They were all like, "Oh no, not the guacamole!" And then he just escorts them all away. It's so stupid. Yeah. So he's really good at killing, and doing and solving crises, I guess.
With violence, specifically.
With violence, very violent.
He's not very good at talking through scenarios. He just he hurts people. That's what he does. And yeah, so he gets back to the base, and I guess I forget the rank of the guy he's talking to, but he essentially says like, yeah, like you're we don't need you anymore. So I don't know if there is something in the American military where you can only stay at a certain rank for so long. And if you don't qualify for a promotion within that time, then you're released. That's not a thing that happens in our army. Like I actually signed a thing saying that I don't wish to progress because I'm a corporal, which is a pretty low rank. And once you hit master corporal, which is the next one, then you go up to sergeant from there. You start doing a lot of administration work and paperwork and stuff and organizing people and less medicine. And I kind of like doing medicine, and it's quite a while even when you do get promoted until you're actually making more than corporal level 4, which is what I am. It's just the amount of time I've been in. So yeah, I'm just I wanted to go through the rest of my career just being one of the grunts who just takes care of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, Major Payne though is not being promoted to lieutenant colonel, and that is a reason why they're kicking him out of the army, because there's no killing left to do. He's killed everyone. He's killed all the bad
everyone,
guys.
Yeah.
He says that now war happens with like the paperwork and stuff and like organization, or I don't know. He says something about it happening in like behind the desks as opposed to in the battlefield.
Now all the blood is shed in the halls of Congress. Boys like us are becoming dinosaurs.
Yeah.
The way Major Payne says it as well is really funny.
Yeah, so this is 5 years
are
before.
Are you telling me in all this bad military there's no room left for a trained weapon of destruction?
Yeah. I mean, there realistically always would be, but I think if he stuck around for 6 years, Afghanistan would happen, and then he'd have plenty of killing to do.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Major. There's no one left. You've killed them all.
Cosmic Vader's got it. Just wait until 2001, Major.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty basic setups, like big old. It's a basic setup, like just cranked up to 11, basically. It's like, it's old war veteran, but he basically killed everyone there's to kill against America, and now he needs to adjust to the normal world, to the
civilian life,
which, to be fair, is like a big problem for people that come out of like active war zones, from what I understand.
I mean, even not having been in a war zone, it's kind of been a struggle for me, which is sort of why I'm doing my best to prevent myself from being released from the army due to medical reasons, because everyone remember, I am a cyborg. I've lost a leg, but hey, I can hit the fitness standards again, so that's something.
Nice. And then we cut to him into his apartment, and he immediately says, It's been
It's
2
a
whole
blatant-
weeks since I killed a man. I'm
Yeah.
already starting to get the itch.
This scene too it's a blatant parody of Apocalypse Now.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think
there's
of
a scene
that.
where Martin Sheen is there, and you see like the helicopter blade is kind of like
Yeah,
he's looking at the ceiling fan and thinking of it as a helicopter, and doing martial arts in his room, and Major Payne just like he kicks through a window. It's like
Yeah. He's like,
he's
I'm
just
hungry
doing like
for
shadow boxing.
he's hungry for blood. Then he he sees a rat or a mouse and he hunts it and just puts it over a small fire in the corner of his room.
Yeah.
Dude, also, I'm seeing I have like dropped frames. I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah, probably stop us from getting claims, so that's fine.
Hang on. OBS was confused with VPN. Let me just turn that off real quick. So there might be a small hiccup here. Give me a second.
Oh god, I've not even turned my VPN back on since Quake last week.
That's fine. Mine activates automatically.
Wait, I'll see if mine did actually.
That should yeah, should also already be back. Yeah, this immediately fixed it. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, OBS, there's so many programs, so much software and games that just get confused by VPNs. It's actually kind of annoying. I don't know why this started happening, but there's lots of that. Like, if I want to play League of Legends with the boys, I need to turn off my VPN because they're
apparently also with Quake.
and Quake. Yeah, I think
we had 3 people on VPNs and we managed to get through the first level, and then they just didn't want to let us join up together again for the whole rest of the game.
Yeah. I probably have to get a VPN now because Australia's extremely cringe and gay. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
like German networking is really weird apparently, because loads of times I have websites that don't load very well when I'm not on a VPN, and then I turn it on and all of a sudden the website loads perfectly fine. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing here with what the ISPs are doing. So I don't know if there's like some rerouting happening with VPN that is actually better than the standard one. I don't know. It's really weird. I've noticed a lot of weird things happening networking wise. But
who knows?
Yeah, I think the last thing that I noticed was I was playing League and I wanted to look up runes, and there's like the u.gg websites that have like all the builds and stuff, and that didn't load for fucking anything when my VPN was off. Then I turned it back on and boom, instantly loaded, and I was like, why? What are they doing?
Who knows?
But yeah, it's weird. ISPs thing. Anyway, he's cooking mice in the corner of his room, and he's basically like, I need to do some killing. I'm hungry for blood. He even says like, I feel like I'm getting weaker, and he also hisses at a cat.
Yeah.
Like just the things he says here, they're like amusing to me. What is it? I can't. Oh yeah. I feel I'm getting weaker while Charlie's growing stronger in the jungle. I can't lose my edge. I gotta keep my strength up. I gotta maintain discipline.
Yeah, well, this
Because
being
the
1995, Charlie, which is like what they would call people in Vietnam, and like that being the jungle is referring to, was like 20 years ago at this point.
Yeah, and he's like, because the hard reality was, I gotta get a job.
So he tries to become a cop.
Yeah,
and,
what better place than somewhere that would allow me to employ my skills as a trained killer? And then he...
Yeah, so for those who think police work is just you run around killing people, yeah, that's not even close. You're really not supposed to even draw your gun unless it's absolutely necessary when you're a police officer. So he's in a scenario where they're trying to have him walk through basically a domestic violence call where like you show up and you try to figure out what's happening, what the truth is, if it's a fake call, if they were just having a fight and someone called it in as DV. And he just immediately believes that the woman is telling the truth, that he says he hit me, and then he just starts smacking the living hell out of the guy. And
yeah,
and this is a scenario, by the way. It's not a real call. So that guy's just an actor. And
it's really funny because he starts with both just being like, "Oh, pleased to meet you. Hello, sir." And then he just goes like, "He hit me." It's like, "You like to beat women?" Officer, and then just don't ever hit her. And just slaps him left and right.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he knows as far as response. It's like, hey, identify the enemy, apply violence to enemy.
Yeah. And the police guys that watch him just go like, what the hell is going on? He just doesn't stop. And the guy's like, wait, I can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's really silly. And honestly, I completely understand if you don't think this is funny. This is very amusing to me personally. I think it's
He
pretty
actually
funny.
is in jail too. Like,
Yeah.
the commander comes and like talks to him. Is like, hey, so like, yeah, I had a minor setback in civilian life. That's
Yeah.
what this is.
Funny enough, this is like a weird, stupid, goofy comedy movie, and there's more repercussions for Major Payne after he hit a civilian multiple times than in, lots of other movies that came out over the years. Not this time, because he fucked him up in the demonstration, and now he went to jail.
Oh, and the guy wasn't even a criminal. He was just like pretending to be for training purposes.
Was a dramatization of a scenario.
Yeah, the old field unit I was at absolutely loved me after I like got good enough with my leg that I could start being a field scenario actor, because like I'm in a medical unit, and guess what? My calls generally were like I would pretend to have a leg blown off everybody. I was pretty good at it.
But yeah, the general is there and it's like, hey, we found a place for you. You can, this is like your last chance or whatever, to do the thing. I just moved my stuff here too far, and now I'm trying to find my proper stage here again.
Yeah, so basically the last shot that he has for like being back in the military and actually having what we'd call a trade in the military is as a JROTC trainer. So junior reserve officers, so I guess like military cadets or like young people who think that one day they might want to join the military, and being able to apply to be an officer would be easier to do if you go through this program, because you can basically say, yeah, like I know what to do already. I just need to be formally trained and enlisted. The cadets, at least the cadets that we had on my basic training, already knew how to do drill, and were making all the rest of us like plebs look sort of stupid, because we did not know how to properly do things like marching and come to attention and present arms and all that stuff. But this is the type of program where you would learn how to do that stuff as a young person, and it's probably the worst assignment they could have given this guy, and would only happen in a movie, because they'd be like, yeah, no, like maybe putting the guy who just beat the living hell out of a scenario actor at a police station probably shouldn't be teaching children.
Yeah, the guy who's adamant and telling everybody that he's a living weapon of destruction is like, yeah, I probably don't want to put him together with kids and teenagers.
Yeah, but at the same time, I guess he understands military training more so than he'd understand police training, so being the guy barking the orders is something that I suppose they think, yeah, he's capable of doing that, because he knows he can't hit these children.
Yeah. It's kind of funny how the way he says it as well. So after 2.5 weeks of living a civilian puke's existence, which is another term I've heard before, a civilian puke. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I've never said it.
Yeah, it's like, I was back in uniform, back in the Corps, back to the sweet smell of mustard gas and killing. The sweet smell of mustard gas.
Yeah, it's not a sweet smell. It's a blister.
I bet it isn't.
Too, so it actually, like mustard gas burns your skin. Like it's not even just if you breathe it in, it's bad. It's you need to be fully covered up, or it's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. That's funny, because he's like, oh man, I don't even know I didn't know what I was in for. I've toured 11 separate engagements from Iraq to Haiti, but nothing I did would prepare me for this new assignment.
Yeah,
he just
it's a
arrives
different
in
set
this,
of rules.
He arrives in this. I guess it's a school, right? It's just a military school.
Yeah, a boarding school, and it's not a military school. It's just a boarding school,
okay.
And there's only like a small group of them that are in the JROTC.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And yes, Lumpy, I have been tear gassed several times over the course of my career. Not just in basic. It happens once a year when you're in a field unit.
Oh, good.
And you know what? I kind of got used to it after a while, like to the point that I didn't need to put on my mask as quickly, and to not be like coughing my lungs out and crying my eyes out. But yeah, you have 9 seconds though, so that's how much time you have to like actually get your gas mask on.
Yeah. So, time for our first encounter between the youngest member of the JRTC.
Yeah, this kid's adorable.
Tiger, I think he's called.
Tiger, yeah.
Just Tiger, yeah. And he just runs into Major Payne. Then you see the Miss Ma'am is how he calls her the first time around before she knows her name. He knows her name. And it's like, what you running from, bye? It's like, she's trying to give me a shot. You don't like needles? And then you get if you remember the finger trick from earlier, he's like, you want me to show a little trick? Take your mind off that pain?
Oh, God. Yeah, I was like, holy hell, no.
Here, give me your hand. Now you may feel a little bit of pressure. And you're like, oh, God, he's going to break
It was like, holy shit, is he
finger.
going to break this little 6-year-old's finger like 2 minutes into this job?
But fortunately, he gets stopped by Miss Walburn, Emily Walburn. Yeah. She's a school counselor, and it's like, hey,
another weird 6 degrees of separation I have is my dad's old family friend, whose name is also Marc. Actually, dated Karen Parsons for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
I have all these little celebrity connections. I'm the X-Ray girl. Thanks for the raid.
Hey, thanks for the raid. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Annie.
Hello.
Very appreciated. The puppies are here, and they're happy that you did that. Thank you. Hey, Rocky. You're a good boy.
Painting it up with the major of the pain. So yeah, he almost broke this little guy's finger, which is really fun.
It was luckily stopped by Hillary from Fresh Prince just before it happened.
Oh, you're right. That is her.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about Fresh Prince for a while. So yeah, that makes sense. I need to rewatch that show. I wonder if that still holds up today.
Oh yeah. Fresh Prince is really good.
Oh, sick.
Every time I see the clip of Will talking to Uncle Phil and like about his dad.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's a fantastic scene. Yeah.
I can't watch that without tearing up a little. I'm like, oh God, that'll be so rough.
Yeah, it's a really great scene. That's one I will always remember. It's really fucking good. But yeah, hello everybody. Thanks for the raid. Appreciate that. So it's just more fun dialogue. She just grabs his hand, just gives her a handshake. It's like, that's a very fine handshake you got there. You want to wrestle? She's like, no, thank you. It's like, okay. And yeah, this is Tiger. This one is usually my big helper. And it's like, oh, nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, and then Major Payne goes to this one guy. I don't even does this guy get a name?
Like, which guy is it?
The weird old guy that's the.
Oh yeah, he's an amateur lepidopterist.
I have no idea what that is.
A person who studies butterflies. I actually only know that because of it's a line in Venture Brothers where there's these like two secret agents that are talking about the monarch to someone else. He's like, what you may not understand is that me and my friend are amateur lepidopterists. Guy who studies butterflies. The monarch being the villain of Venture Brothers. Venture Brothers, God, if only we could do a Venture Brothers arc. Hey, you know what we should do? We should do one season of Venture Brothers a year.
Oh, okay. Nice.
See if we can get this show going to 7 years in a movie.
So yeah, he goes to that guy and it's like, you're in charge of the Greed Boys? And this guy's like old and, I don't know, dementia ridden or something. I don't know. He's not all there anymore, it seems like. He can't hear.
Yeah,
he's super tiny as well. The way they frame it is actually, I just realized that, but
yeah. Well, I think he's like on the ground though, right? Like he's not in a chair.
He's sitting on a chair and super low down.
Oh, holy shit. Yeah, you're right.
This looks really funny.
Yeah, Damon Wayans looks gigantic compared to him. That's pretty funny. Hey, yeah, Solid Slug. Canadians sometimes have good ideas. Hey, thanks, Mongoose.
Thanks for the gift.
Much appreciated.
Membership.
And Patrick Bowser, welcome to the Metalcommander membership.
Whoa.
But yeah, so he's the new commandant of the JROTC and being welcomed by what we presume is the principal or superintendent of the school, or I don't know what they would call it in a boarding school like this, but in most normal schools, I guess principal would be the term.
Yeah. But he doesn't really know what's going on. He's like, "Why are you here?" It's like the ROTC program. I was like, oh, "Okay." Yeah,
Headmaster, maybe. Yeah, that might be it.
I was like, "Wait, we have an ROTC program?" The Green Boy Star. Oh, right. But yeah, the guy is basically like, "Between you, I don't care what you do with these boys as long as you keep them out of my hair. Is that all?" I was like, "Oh." And he's like, "Would you like the tour of the campus?" And he's immediately like, "No, I'd like to see my men." So he wants to immediately go in there.
Well, I mean, that like as far as like a military commander of any kind saying like what's important to you, seeing the facilities, like no, I want to see the guys I'm going to be training.
Yeah,
It's actually a good leadership instinct, I'd say.
and this leads us to, well, the first big
Band of Misfits.
the band of misfits, and our first big parody of the drill sergeant. I guess it's a trope at this point because it's been done a lot up until 95. I mean, especially like Full Metal Jacket is like the
Full Metal
biggest
Jacket's
example.
the big one. Like it started a guy's career. Just because do you know the story of like Arlie Ermy and how he ended up being the drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket?
I mean, he wasn't supposed to be the one, right? And then he just
so there was another actor, and he was the like the military advisor because he actually was like a Marine drill sergeant, and like Stanley Kubrick was just like, yeah, you're so much better than the actor we cast to do this. Would you mind just doing it? And apparently, a lot of the insults in that famous scene are just off the top of his head insults.
Yeah, it's really, I fucking love that scene.
Nothing like telling a soldier that you look like you could suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Was it only gays and bulls come out of what's the city?
Only queers and steers come from Texas.
Right.
You don't look much like a steer to me.
It's like, damn. It's one of my favorite movies ever. I love Full Metal Jacket. It's so fucking good. Really, really good. Didn't Drinker do a production hell recently? Wasn't that about Full Metal Jacket?
Oh, did he? I didn't see it if he did, but Full Metal Jacket's production was an interesting one. In fact, most Stanley Kubrick movies tend to be because apparently he's something of a firebrand on set. I guess that's
it was Full Metal
nice
Jacket.
way
It was a month ago. I watched that now.
Oh, there you go. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket. Good stuff. In any case, where's my tabs? There they are. So yeah, he's getting the squad together, and he looks sussy about them because they all look like children and little loser men. Like there's like not much of a formation going on. They're just kind of standing there, and it's like a wide variety of like teenagers and kids and very small kids. Like Tiger is like 6 years old or something. So
well, yeah, because some of these boarding schools go from like first grade up until the end of high school. And generally it's for parents who don't have much time to spend with their kids anyways because they have very like stressful jobs. And I mean, including if there's like military people in the family who are being deployed a lot, then this type of school is generally good for them. Or, kids that have had some issues and need full-time supervision. But military school would generally be the place those people would go. With this one just being in like a stay overnight boarding school.
But yeah, he's basically like, yo, I'm your new commanding officer. I'm replacing Major Frankfurt.
Potentially a German.
No. Oh, no.
It's okay. Germans are allowed in the Canadian Army, too.
No, okay. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, that's fine. They're generally pretty nice people. I mean, hey, I do a podcast with one every week.
Ew, oh, shit, that's me. Damn it.
Ha!
Nah.
Gotcha.
Fooled.
And we have a young Shermanator from American Pie. This is the big-eared ginger kid.
So after he said, I'm replacing him as your commanding officer, the one kid is like, ooh, or something. And then Major Payne just gets a sidearm and shoots in the air like 5 times.
None of them are taking it seriously until he just like fires a pistol into the air. And they're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't mess with this guy.
Yeah. he tried the boogie route, but it actually worked.
That one person was not here to see this what would be the word, seriousizing moment, and
Yeah.
that would be a one Alex Stone, who
I
becomes a pretty important character.
yeah. But before he gets here, though, it's kind of fun. He shoots up in the air and he says like, "See now, what we have here is a failure to communicate.
Well,
Do
communication is
not
important.
attempt to challenge my authority." He does like lots of pauses while he's at this. In here, it's kind of, it's super over the top, and like the gold teeth, the two gold teeth, and his voice being like so goofy is like obviously a contrast to do these things.
See,
It's
the
kinda
gold
fun.
teeth are actually a thing that I'm skeptical the military would let him have. Like, I mean, granted, if he lost those teeth, obviously
Mm.
they'd let him get replacements for him, but I don't think they'd approve the gold teeth. Like, I used to have earrings. Like when I first joined the army, I had like 2 earrings in my left lobe, one in my left cartilage, and one in my right ear that was like a gauge. And first thing that happened when I got to basic training, it's like, yeah, you can't wear any of those. So
Mhm.
put them away, and then I lost them. I think because one of the people inspecting our rooms might have just taken them and thrown them out, and my holes have closed since. And yeah, but I'm not a like 17-year-old skater kid anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. But so he goes like, "Killing is my business, ladies, and business is good." Blah blah
And
blah.
business is good.
Yeah. And then the small kid, the Tiger's like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." It's like, "You hold it,
Yeah.
turd." "I can't." "I said hold it, or I'll break it off and kick it around on the ground."
Yeah. That it definitely straightens Tiger up, but
Yeah.
he's also a 6-year-old, and if he has to pee, he kind of has to go. Like, doesn't have a huge bladder.
Nope. Anybody says like, "Yo, I got like 8 weeks to put you into a position so we can win the military games because I want
Yeah,
that trophy."
our Canadian basic training is 9 weeks, so that is enough time to train a soldier.
Oh, well, there you go. Those kids have no reason to not win. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the guy, Tiger said, "Major Payne's like, what, boy? What? I did something bad." And just looks down.
Yeah.
Obviously peed
Poor
himself.
kid.
He's 6 years
Yeah,
old.
because like he can't really hold it that well.
Yeah.
Like he's just a little boy.
Dude, there's so many frames in here where he looks like really disgusted. It's like, "You nasty little worm." I think there's some good clips in here that you could use in videos as well. There's some.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's fun.
Old 90s comedies are a gold line for like little cutaway jokes.
Oh, 100%. It was like, "Stop that. You nasty little worm. Go change your huggies, boy, to be back here pronto. Stop that crying. You'll get no pity from me. You think your tears will stop Charlie from taking his bayonet and sticking it into your tiny little heart?" It's like, goddamn. It's a 6-year-old.
Yep. Poor little guy. Slumpy makes a good point here too, though. Basic isn't full training either for most military. You did 2 years after basic, and yeah, so generally basic training is what you do to like get the basics, so quite literally, of learning how to be a soldier. So like you learn how to shoot, you learn how to handle your firearm, you know how to march, you know how to do drill, and most of all, you know how to like, you know how the military education system works because they probably go harder on you on basic than most other courses. But then you have to do like your trade course, which if you're infantry, that means probably another several months of really intense training that's way harder than basic. And for me, it would be medic training, which is different when I did it because I actually went to civilian paramedic college first, like not even at an army base or anything. And then it was 8 months of training for army medic after like fully qualifying as a primary care paramedic. So yeah, it takes a long time before you're like, hey, this guy's ready to go as a medic and he's deployable now. But basic does it. Everyone has to do it, even if you're just a clerk, like doing paperwork the whole rest of your career. But yeah, it's not fully trained soldiers, but it's enough to get someone military ready.
See, this is fun and educational today. See, we're learning.
I mean,
all
yeah,
the things.
that's why it's good to have me whenever there's military stuff involved
Yeah.
because I at least know a little bit.
So now Tiger ran away. Now we need our next victim. So the ginger kid, like sneezes. It's like, whoa, what was that? It's like, oh, I just sneezed. It's like, oh, did I give you permission to sneeze? I think it goes, yeah, OP. It goes OP. Like,
Yeah,
no,
that
sir.
is.
Did you hold it in, you big-eared turd? He says turd a
Those-
lot in this movie.
Generally, like in a military course, when it's something like, oh yeah, you don't sneeze or you're gonna be in trouble, and you're especially if you're having allergies or something,
Mhm.
it's like, God, it's very frightening.
Oh,
'Cause you're
yeah.
like, don't listen to your body.
It's like, then you hold it in, otherwise I'll kick your ass back to Mayberry, and then he sneezes right into his face. It's like, oh, we got a thickly boy here. Drop down, give me 25 push-ups now.
Yeah, poor kid is
Yeah.
not very good at doing push-ups either.
Yeah. The way he says, like, I see we have a thickly boy on our hands. Gotta boost your immune system. Get down, give me 25. And then the chunky kid is is laughing at that. And
Yeah,
he
and-
sees that. He's like, "What are you laughing at, pig boy? You find a piece of candy in your pocket?"
Yes, never laugh when you're formed up at attention.
Yeah.
It'll get you in a lot of trouble.
God, I remember when fat shaming was still funny in movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I still think it's funny.
it is still funny. And hey, it kind of works on some people sometimes. Worked on Lizzo apparently. South Park
Yeah.
might have saved her life.
But yeah, it's like, no, sir, what's your name, Tubby? Heathcote, sir. You know, you remind me of the doughboy. It's like, if I poke your stomach, will it make you go? Will it make you go poof or something along those lines? Like, you know what? I'm gonna help you make room for lunch, bacon boy. Drop down, give me 30 sit-ups right now. Count
Yeah.
them out. Let me see that belly roll. 1 tubby. 2 chubby. Come on, pork chop. It's just,
God,
oh,
if you did that at a modern school, like right to jail right away. Like you would not get away with that at all.
yeah. And just
Even even honestly, military training's kind of changed. Like they're not really allowed to like call us names anymore and stuff. And let's just say I did basic training just after 9/11, and I got called a lot of names, and most of them I can't say on the internet.
So yeah, pretty based movie. We shit on the fat guy. We shit on the ginger boy. I mean, I think that's pretty based.
I mean, they don't have souls, so they had to come.
He yelled at a 6-year-old child. I think right now this is a 10 out of 10 for me.
It's just so like lighthearted and funny. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't really even seem that offensive to anything. Like I mean, I don't know. I guess from my perspective, as kind of an older guy, but like you can tell it's supposed to be him being ridiculous to them, like
Oh, yeah.
over the top mean. And honestly, they're taking it pretty well. Like they're not flipping out over it really. They're dropping down, doing their setups, dropping down, trying to do push-ups, and yeah.
But then there's the black teenager. He's like, yeah, you're a genius.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is so funny how you wreck all these white boys.
There you go. We get a little hint of identity politics, and then
Yeah.
we see how a black man from the 90s reacts to that.
Yeah. He's like, you like the way I handle these white boys, do you? He's like, yeah. It's like, it make you feel good to see a black man running things, huh? And he smiles like the whole time. Like, well, let me tell you something, D. Yeah, brother? Why don't you come closer? I am not your damn brother.
Yeah, it was like
now drop down, give
yells
me
in his
20
ear.
squats thrusts now.
It's like, look, skin color is not a factor here. I'm the one running this drill session, and you are one of my recruits. So
Yeah.
don't try to be my friend.
The way he just gets up into his ears yelling this.
I mean, yeah, that like arguably damaging. Like, I mean, that you might actually be able to see as like literal abuse because his ear might have been pretty damaged by that.
Yeah. But yeah, really funny. And then we get the classic, he walks past someone, it's like, what are you looking at, ass eyes? Ass eyes. I've never heard ass eyes before, but I love it.
Like, what does it even mean?
I don't know. It's like, what are you plotting? You're plotting on me, sir? Well, let me tell you something, ass eyes. War has made me very paranoid. Oh, God, it's so funny. I love it. I really do. Like, just reading this back now, it's just even funnier. It's like, it's just great. I love it. But yeah, when I have a man as eyeball me, it makes my Agent Orange act up. Isn't that also like a like a chemical warfare
Chemical
thing?
weapon, yeah.
Yeah. And I get the urge to kill. And then the classic, do you understand me? Yeah, I understand you. It's like, what is your damage muscle? You ignorant or you just plain old deaf? And one of them, oh, he's actually deaf. Yeah,
he actually is deaf.
He is deaf. And he's like, oh, thank you. Now drop down, give me 25 more for speaking out of line.
Yeah, I mean, that'll happen too. Yeah, if you like, I guess at least in our military, if something like that happened, you came to attention and held your fist out just at your waist level, then he might like say, what do you want, and like let you speak, but you can't just talk.
Yeah. That's interesting because it seems like even though this is like funny and over the top, it seems to be kind of close to the real deal. How you would do it when you have like a drill sergeant doing things.
Yeah. Because, I mean, part of that is, like, as much as that was information that Major Payne did need to know, the kids still didn't follow the proper procedure for getting attention of a commanding person in a formal environment like that. So I was like, thank you for that, but you still need to be punished because you need to learn how to act in this environment. And it's like, while he's being ridiculous, he actually is not doing a terrible job training these kids right now as far as, like, what he's actually teaching them.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, I guess he doesn't understand really that they seem to not know any of this. Like whoever the last guy was, they didn't seem to pay any attention to him.
Yeah.
Like these all seem like first day of basic training people at most. If not just like people who came into the recruiting office and actually know nothing. Because most of them aren't even in proper uniform.
Let's say it's like, oh yeah. I just forgot about that line. Right after he now knows that he's deaf, he just is like, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Handicapped Man, I didn't mean to offend you. Like,
yeah, I mean,
do you speak sign language? Can you read lips? And just nods like, well, let me break it down to you. If you don't answer me when I speak to you, I'm going to put my foot in your ass. Is that clear, dummy? Yes. But yeah,
and he does talk there, right? Like he responds, but like he just sounds like a deaf person. But then he doesn't seem to talk for the whole rest of the movie.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, now we got Recruit Stone, who's actually called Fonzarelli, I guess, because of the leather jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, he comes running down the hill. It's like, wait for me, don't stop without me. I was like, oh, well, welcome to my party. What's you're out of uniform because he's wearing like a leather jacket. Yeah, Fonzarelli, as you just said. He's like, well, I like this look better, General, Admiral, whatever. He's like, it's Major, boy. And then he goes looks past him to the other one. Oh, looks like we got another Major on our hands here, guys.
Oh boy, that was a mistake.
And all of them is like, oh, Major or Major. It's like, oh, I'm Cadet Alex Stone, sir. Well, I'm glad to see you got a sense of humor. So do I. And then we cut to them all being cut down bolts. But he does the laughs like, so do I. I
actually did that during my medic training just voluntarily. I was like, gotta kind of get rid of my own old life for a bit. So I just shaved my head for a long time, kind of looked like a different person until I was fully trained. And then actually it was towards the end of my training. We had a practice for Remembrance Day that we were doing like a formal ceremony at the school. And we have to do this thing called remove and replace headdress at one point, which is you take your beret off, you kind of hold it by your heart while some words are being said, and then you replace it and put it back on. But you have to do it quick, and you're formed up in a formal setting like this. And I found that when I was like totally shaving my head, it was like it was like Velcro into my beret, so I couldn't get it affixed in time. And then I started growing my hair back, and a couple of the girls on my course were just like, "Oh my god, you're not like totally bald." I'm like, "Oh no, I don't have as much hair I did when I was 22, but yeah, like I mean, I still got hair." And they're like, "Grow it back, like already it looks way better." I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure."
Well, there you go. But yeah, as you can see, all those actors, they've cut their hair for realsies. You can tell pretty clearly that they did.
Yeah, those are not bald caps, and you could tell it's fresh too because all their skin underneath looks very light compared to their faces.
Yeah.
Like they probably did it right before this shot or like the day before. That was one thing I had to learn too. Once you shave your head, you should really make sure you do it in summer, get some sunscreen, and then try to even out your tan.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah.
Otherwise, it just looks like you cut your hair really short and bleached it white.
So yeah, now you basically tell them, well, if you want to grow your hair, you got to earn them. As long as you haven't, you're gonna be bald like me.
You'll walk like me, talk with me, and until you win those games, you will be bald like me.
And then one of the kids goes to Alex, like, "Way to go this time, Alex."
I mean, yeah. Though, I mean, his head of hair would not fit military regulation at all. Like, actually, kind of thing of the Full Metal Jacket comparison. The guy who plays Alex sort of looks like a young Matthew Modine, who's like like Joker from Full Metal Jacket. Like he's got kind of similar, like blondish hair that kind of looks like that.
And yeah, and then he tells Dodson, I think the guy on the right that put them all in line, take these men for 2 hours of PT. And yeah, is PT
so right now
is PT just physical training?
Physical training.
Okay,
yeah. It's like generally it's your exercise periods. But
I knew it's exercise. I was just wondering if it's just physical training or something else.
The thing to note though about Dobson is that he's the squad leader right now, and he's very gung ho. Like he likes having this like minor position of power over these guys, and is not fantastic at keeping it subtle, which will come into play later.
Yeah. So yeah, they're doing PT, and Major Payne is in his office, and little detail that it gets like a little payoff later on. He is reading all their files, so he's going to be very aware of what these guys have been up to, what their background is as far as those notes go. Yeah, he's getting well informed.
Yeah, which is what you should do when you're leading people. Understand who they are. Understand how they might be reacting to things you say and tell them to do and why, and it'll get easier to train them effectively.
Exactly. And yeah, it's like, and then Miss Walburn comes in. It's like, hey, why did you shave the children bald? And I was like, oh, that's my little incentive program where these boys have to earn their due. Their hairdo, that is.
That was, not a bad little joke.
Yeah, that was a good pun. It's a good pun. It's like, oh, do they have to earn their bathroom privileges too?
Yeah.
And then you just see Tiger coming around the corner. It's like, what do you want, Mr. Peabody?
Oh, God, yeah.
He just keeps being mean to him, which I think is funny. Being mean is pretty funny. And it's like, oh, he's upset about this morning. Apparently he had a little accident. Apparently he pissed all over the front of his pants.
Yeah, like he's just still laying into the kid right in front of Karen Parsons. Yeah, maybe it's because he's 6.
Yeah, maybe it's because he's 6. And he says, well, when I was 6, I had a full-time job. Because of course he did.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, something you'd like to say to him? I was like, you think I owe you an apology? Want me to take back some of those mean and hurtful little things I said? okay, I'm sorry, you're just a little turd that can't hold your liquid out in public. Now you get out of my face before I not fuck you up, pick you up and toss you out that window.
A poor kid.
So I think it's fair to say, you will not get a movie like this today.
No, probably
it's
not.
not happening. Just yelling at kids and teenagers, calling the fat kid fat, calling the deaf teenager Mr. Handicapped.
Yeah, Mr. Handicapped.
All those things, like be mean to a little six-year-old child. Tell them to stop pissing itself and stop crying, or I'll beat you up, or Charlie's gonna come and stab you in your tiny little heart.
Well, who knows? We might be due for a bit of a pendulum swing in Hollywood, so maybe they'll start being like, hey, you know what? Maybe we should let comedy be offensive again, because that's generally when it's most funny.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's not in the position of like us being like, haha, yeah, tell those kids, because he's clearly being mean. Like,
Oh, yeah, 100%.
like his character is not portrayed as like, oh yeah, this is how you should be treating young children. Like he's obviously going too far, and that's what makes it funny.
That what makes it funny, yeah. And obviously, like the whole thing where the black kid is like, yeah, you're showing these white kids, and he's like, I'm not your friend. Go down and give me 20 sit-ups because he's the boss. It's just fun. The thing is, you could make a movie like this, but the thing is, most people probably don't have the balls to make them. I think that's the problem. It's not like anyone is stopping anyone. You just need you need someone who's like, oh, if I'm gonna make this movie, it's gonna be really funny, but people are gonna be upset.
I think
some of them.
All it'll really take is for someone to make a like genuinely offensive comedy again. Like if Ben Stiller came out and made a Tropic Thunder-esque movie and it did really, really well, that would be the end of it, and we'd be fine. Because more people would be like, oh, okay, clearly people don't really mind when it's offensive stuff. So like as long as it's being funny. But I think the issue here is sometimes when people try offensive comedies on like a smaller scale, they just end up not being very good. So it doesn't really help. I don't want to call out any movies specifically, but I've seen at least one in the last little bit that's like, yeah, it's definitely offensive, but
no,
not hilarious.
So yeah, Miss Wahlberg's like, hey, have you done this kind of work before? And he's like, woman, under this here hat, I've trained 20,000 killing machines.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's the point. These are children, not killing machines. They
Yeah,
have special
the
needs.
the goal of ROTC is to train more responsible children, not killing machines.
And he's like, do you know what positive reinforcement means? I was like, is that anything like where you take a POW and you snap his neck after you torture him so he doesn't have to go through life with a colostomy bag?
Looks like we got a Deb raid too. Thanks, Dev.
Thank you very much, Dev. Appreciate
I actually
that.
don't have coffee today, so I'm not sure that we deserve this one.
I had coffee today, but currently I'm having a Dr. Pepper. But yeah, hello everybody. Thank you for the raid. But yeah, again, Major Pay's like, after he gets asked, like, do you know what positive reinforcement means? And he says, is that anything like where you take a POW and you snap his neck after you torture him so he doesn't have to go through life with a colostomy bag? It's like, oh my God damn. And
that's rough.
And Miss Wahlberg is like, sort of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, to be fair, she's doing an effort to try to effectively communicate with him. Like,
yeah.
Like, let's give him, hey, that's something. It is a nice thing you're doing, I suppose, technically, but let's try to dial it in a little. Let's get a little bit closer to you being an effective teacher of children.
Yeah. I was like, hey, I'd like to make a suggestion. Why don't you and I become partners in the emotional growth and development of these little ones? What do you say? Will you be my big helper and help me do that? Yeah. And he's like, yes.
Yeah, he has no defense for this one. It's a pretty lady.
Yeah. And he's like, good. And then he's like, why do I feel like a jackass?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think because it's pretty clear that at least in this scene, she probably doesn't actually like have any feelings for him. She's just kind of manipulating him. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But yeah, the children are walking over the campus, and everyone is making fun of them. It's like, oh, you had shaped like a bowling ball. Me, 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 me. Right. Oh yeah, we're going to the dorm where the kids are hanging out. It's like one or two rooms at best. I think there's like four to a room or something.
Yeah.
And
4 to rooms what we'd have in our barracks generally. Unless it's a combat arms course where they really want to kind of drive you, and then it's like a big hallway with like 30 beds, like bunk beds.
yeah. But yeah, they talk about, it's like, oh man, this Major Payne guy, he's really annoying. Who does he think he is? And then the chunky is like, shut up. It's like, you telling me to shut up? Why don't you shut your own damn mouth and stop eating all that damn candy, you fat pig?
Yeah, pretty rough.
Yeah.
This is clearly an environment that, while they're more comfortable, they're not exactly coming together as a team.
No, they're
the
not
kids
really
don't particularly
friends.
like each other, it seems.
Yeah. Then the former ginger kid, that's because there's no balls, is like, he looks like Curly from the Three Stooges.
Yeah, I guess because the bigger ears. Curly's a lot more portly though.
I have no clue about the Three Stooges, so I
Oh, really?
have to believe you.
Yeah, they're funny. It's like an old show from, God, it's like the 30s.
Yeah, isn't like black and white as well? Like, it's really
It's black
old.
and white,
Yeah.
but it is sound, so it's definitely
okay.
not like the 20s or anything like that. It's later than that, but I couldn't tell you the exact time frame. I used to watch a lot of it though, because when I would go to my grandmother's house on Sundays, generally Three Stooges and Little Rascals and all those kind of shows were on one of the Canadian channels in the mornings.
Oh, okay.
It's funny. Like, I mean, it's slapstick comedy. Like, it's them just kind of beating the shit out of each other in hilarious situations. But it's good.
Yeah, nice. Uncultured Gorman. Yes, I've never watched any Three Stooges because I was minus 70 years old or something when they came out.
I mean, it's not like I was around when they came out.
I
This
know.
is like the 80s I'm talking about here. But yeah, I remember it though.
But yeah, these guys are not really friends. Like the Alex Stone guy, he's like, "Ah, why are you touching my bed? Fuck you!" Kind of kicks him. So yeah, they're not like the like homies.
Yeah,
because that's gonna be the story here for them. They all have to come together to beat Major Payne, basically.
And also, like, I mean, soldiers will kind of razz each other in these environments, but they seem to be being intentionally mean to each other because they don't like each other. It's not like, yeah, what about you, fatty? Ha ha ha. It's more just like, yeah, fucking fat kid stealing our candy. Fuck you. And it's like, oh, this is there's definitely an aggression here that's not really conducive to building a military unit.
Yeah. And then Dodson comes barging in. It's like, hey, I got good news for you assholes. Pack your bedding, your kid, your clothes. Let's go. We're going somewhere. So yeah, this Dodson guy, he's really into this. He's like, hey, yeah, I got a little power, and I love that.
Yeah, that kid's a bit of a dick.
So they go to what looks like a barrack of sorts. It's like
it's like a storm shed kind of deal.
Yeah.
Hard stand shelter, but like very temporary looking. It's like sheet metal and kind of the rounded roof.
Yeah. So basically, he puts them all in here because like unit that lives together wins together, and it's the unit without the Y. I actually don't.
Unity without the Y.
Oh, unity without the Y. Oh, yeah. I should have just read what I have here on the screen. But yeah, Taiga, Leland, you will reside in the ROTC building. The rest of you garbage, grab a rack and settle in. Let's move out.
I guess you're seeing the subtitles. I guess the context is he says that unity is the key word in unit without the Y, but it's kind of the other way. It's like unit is the key word in unity without the Y. So
yeah.
And they are not happy about this.
No.
They at least had beds with mattresses and like places where they could put their personal effects, and now it's just, well, this is Sort of what I was saying about the combat arms courses there. There's just like a hallway with beds, pretty much.
Yeah. The Major Payne says, "You eyeball me again, I'll snatch it and put it in Heathcote's cookie bag."
Man. Question is, would Heathcote eat it? I vote no.
Man, it's like I speak for everyone when I that Stone's like speak for everyone when I say this place is unacceptable, sir. Really? And then he just buries them in mud and sprays them with cold water.
Well, I mean that's kind of the thing. It's sometimes you have to sleep in places in the army that are not even close to as comfortable as this place would be. And this is an extreme version of that. But yeah, I've spent my fair share of nights at the bottom of a trench. It's not fun, especially in Alberta where seasons don't matter. It's just boiling during the day and it's fucking winter at night. God, I'm having flashbacks now.
Yeah, he does this to them. I just find it amusing that they actually did this. It's like, we're gonna do a little mud thing. It's probably just water with earth on top or something. So they probably didn't bury them in the soil for realsies, but you know, it's fun. It's fun stuff. Yeah. Yeah, Alex gets shit again. It's like, "Oh, good plan this time, Alex." Like, "Why don't you shut up?" And he calls them his little patch of Brussels sprouts. Tells them to uproot themselves and climb out the pool to get some rest because you're gonna need it. Because tomorrow we're gonna start with the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Which means obstacle course. Classic.
Yay.
A classic. It's like, you won't get any
confidence courses in our army.
Oh, okay. But yeah, we see some snippets. They all do really badly. The chunky kid can't climb over the thing. He calls him Dumbo. Dodson, in the meantime, is enjoying himself a little too much.
Yeah, he's like mirroring everything Major Payne shouts at them, but like way more animated.
Yeah, it's always like, "Yeah, take your fat pork chop body over that," and then he looks over them. It's like, "You shut up." It's like, yeah. Okay. And then nobody's leaving here until the average for this squad is 1 minute and 20 seconds. Like, come on, he can't do it. Leave him alone. It's like, I could barely do it. It's slippery out here. Slippery, you say? And then I think he gets out his gun and just shoots into the air again. Yeah. Oh no! Wait, that's the grenade scene. He gets
Oh yeah.
He pulls the pin out of grenade, and they do like this weird thing sometimes in this movie where they speed up the footage, like they're going even faster.
Yeah, that's an old comedy movie thing.
So, and then Dots is like, it's Alex was like,
"That's not even a real grenade.
That's a dummy grenade." He throws it into the woods and it explodes, and he's like, "Oh shit!"
Which yes, you might still get hit by that. You never want to still be standing when a frag grenade goes off that close to you. It's
yeah.
You generally don't want to throw one ever unless you've got cover to dive behind, because that shrapnel do done fly. I think like 200 meters is the rough range. So think of it like you kind of generally need 2 football fields worth of space to be totally safe from grenade shrapnel.
So yeah, now we get our first instance of them all kind of bonding together. They want to give him explosive diarrhea. They make some what they call it, concentrated dithiazanine. I don't know how to pronounce that.
I'm not sure what it's a laxative.
Yeah, it's a laxative. And yeah, they put that on his. Want to put this on his muffin. And it's just a random thing. They're in like the in the food court, mess hall. I don't know what you would call it in this school. They have food.
I mean, I guess cafeteria.
Cafeteria,
normal school. It would be a mess hall in the military, but
and he has like
there's the civilian kids here too.
He has like this can of apple juice or something. Instead of just opening up, he just punches a hole in it with his finger and just yells, "Kill!"
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody just
one of the
looks
ways
at him.
he trains.
It's also a running meme with him that he eats his food like super quickly,
Hmm.
which is probably like a thing. It's like, hey, it's like on the field, so he has to eat super quick.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have a lot of time to eat, but in the field at least, and you do got to get those calories in you. Otherwise, everything's gonna get a lot harder.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, Ginger Kid is like, Major Payne, sir, there's a call for you. And it's like, fine, I'm gonna go get the call. And all of them go to the thing. They have like a muffin that has like the laxative on it. They switch it out with the, well, normal muffin, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh, little
it's
bit.
like a cupcake.
I got
It's
got a
like
nitpick
icing on
here.
it.
The Ginger Kid is looking if he's coming back. And then he just really quickly goes down, but he totally saw him.
Yeah,
He totally saw him the way they portray it, but yeah. I mean, he also, to be fair, he looks at him, so I think he's wondering what the fuck was on what he was
yeah.
on about.
Something probably happened, so
Yeah.
he's ready to have potentially been pranked.
Yeah. But we're turning into some more slapstick now because he's eating the cupcake. He's like, oh, delicious, yum yum yum, and they're all looking at him.
Yeah,
Alex Stone is like, we got him now. He's like doing the little finger licks and stuff, and then you hear like rumbling in the tummy.
stomach grumbling. Yeah.
You see his eyes go wide, and everyone's like, yeah, we got him now. And he's like, And then he stops. Nothing at first. Nothing happens. And it's like, well, come hang out with us now. And the Ginger Kid walks past Major Payne, and he farts loudly in his direction, and the Ginger Kid falls over because of
Yeah, it's like
fart.
actually knocks him out. It's got weaponized farts.
Yeah. He is a weapon of mass destruction, he told us, and he wasn't lying.
Yeah, right down to the GI tract.
It's just okay. It was just
Yeah,
looking.
so they failed to demoralize Major Payne.
Yeah. So it's like, wait, where am I? I think I just. Oh yeah, they're having the shooting training, right? That's going on. It's like, he. Yeah, they wake up the Ginger Kid and it's like he nearly put you in a coma. It's like he has very strong farts. So yeah, now they're plotting even more. It's like, what if he would do something so vile that they have to fire him? And it's like, oh damn it, what's going on? In the background, he's like calling them turds and you can't shoot for shit, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's currently the part where they try to get rid of him in any way possible.
And this is a very sinister way to go about that.
Yeah, so damn, I mean their plan is, hey, we're gonna put the Chunky Kid in a dress and make him lie next to him and take a picture.
And then take a picture, yeah.
And basically frame him for
pedophilia.
It's like, Jesus.
Like, yeah, it's going pretty hard, kids. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's vile.
It's not getting him kicked out of the school. That's like putting him in prison. Like,
yeah. There's a funny bit right before this as well. Like, the Chunky Kid comes in, he's like, hey, what happened to the other dress? And he looks at this dress like, I don't know, this one is prettier. And it's like, oh, okay.
Also, they find out Major Payne sleeps with his eyes totally open.
Yeah. It's like, wait, why do I have to do this? And they just straight up say, because you have the biggest tits. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that was a low blow, man.
And yeah, they're waiting in front of his room. It's like, look at him. It's been 4 hours. He hasn't blinked. Like, these special forces guys can sleep with their eyes open, trust me. And, yeah, Stone just looks in. It's like, hey, turd sniffer, maggot face. See, he's dead to the world. And then he goes in, and they just make him lie down next to him. It's like, get closer, no worry, blah, blah, blah.
Jojo.
It's like, good, now hold it. And then, obviously, he noticed this very quickly. It's like, hello, Betty. And they go like, all of them yell. But they still take a picture, which is kind of a fun little extra thing. It's like the scenes, like they all start yelling, take a picture, and just run away. And then he makes them run around the campus with all dresses on. They all have dresses
Yeah.
on. And then they make like the whole thing's like, got no worry, got no stress. And they do like the whole thing, because we feel good in our dress.
Yeah.
What else is here? Major pains and major dis makes us squat when we piss. But yeah. This goes on for quite a bit, actually. This is probably like 1.5 minutes that goes on.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
a
jogging around the
bald-headed son of a
school.
bitch without hair. Used to be Samson, now I'm Anne. Gotta earn my right to be called a man. It's like, ooh, that's a spicy joke right there.
Yeah, there you go. But I think like the idea of like when you're in training, you do have to kind of not think of yourself as being better than anything, and understand that you need to earn your way up to a respectful position by taking your training seriously and working hard. So it might seem very cruel, but like there is sort of a point behind it, I guess.
Yeah. So they have to run in circles, and it's like, I'll tell you, ladies, you're the prettiest unit ever underneath my command. Maybe I'll change my name to Pimp Daddy Payne. And then Ms. Walburn comes back. It's like, what are these boys doing in those dresses? And they're putting on a fashion show.
Yeah.
It's like, we thought we had like we had to talk about negative reinforcement. Weren't you going to be my big helper?
It's just like, well,
I'm stopping it. She tries to touch the whistle, and he's like, don't touch my whistle. I was just gonna, don't touch the whistle. But yeah, it's like, okay, follow those dresses, go to the barracks, and fold them up nicely.
Yeah, doing things like folding clothes and stuff when you're on training is important.
And then she talks to him, it's like, do you think this is the best way to approach these kids? Like, well, they don't need to like me, but they will respect me. And it's like, let me be more direct. They hate you. And it's like, good.
Yeah.
It'll draw them close together, make them a team. That's a very cynical plan, she says. And it's like, yeah, but it won't backfire. Here, would you like to consider an alternative approach, she says. And he has like the ABCs of the loving role model or something along those lines.
Yeah.
The loving male role model, yeah.
And to his credit, he does read it.
It's like, I don't want it. Take it. I don't want it. They just have a little back and forth. But then she gives him puppy eyes. It's like, come on, please. Like, fine.
Yeah. Ladies do be our weaknesses.
As Walpole just said in chat, I watched this movie when I did ROTC before I found out I hate nerds telling me what to do, and I quit.
Yeah. You know.
So yeah, he's got the loving male role model book now. But obviously the squad is still trying to get rid of him. And it's like, here, I got a new surefire plan, but it's gonna cost us some money. And it's like, put me down for $40, me for 25, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, we're taking out Payne tomorrow for sure. And then we cut to Major Payne in this office, like, love is the key to understanding the 3 B's. Be a good listener, be sensitive to their needs. And then Miss Walburn comes in and is like, I just came to let you know that Walgar has a slight temperature, so you might not want to torture him this evening. And he's like, I will be sensitive to his needs. It's like, you've been reading the book? I might have glanced at it, he says. But then we get...
Wait, I guess
Yes?
I missed it on the screen. Isn't he like doing something while he's reading it too? He's like playing around with a knife. Or...
yeah, he's like... he has like a... It's like a big fuck-off knife. It's almost a machete, and he's like kind of scratching his head with it.
Yeah.
That's kind of...
Walking around holding the book with one hand.
But yeah, Tiger is here. It's like, there's a band in my closet. Oh no, I'm so spooked. It's like, get out of here with this be afraid of the dark bullshit. It's like, come on, you told them you're gonna be more sensitive. It's like, fine, I'm gonna go Go check it out. Oh, no, before that, it was like, no, why did you scare the life of him? Maybe what's he need?
Oh, yeah, actually, wait, this scene's great.
Hang on, I just skipped in my notes here, so sorry about that. It's like, oh, what is it, nightmare? Well, that's all this is. Why don't you run on back to your room before that man jumps out of the closet and chops your little head off? You
Jeez,
call that
like,
being sensitive?
Top 10 worst things you could say to a little kid in that scenario, and that is definitely number one.
Yeah, it's like, well, let me give you a little history of on Kevin Dunn. Both of his parents are dead. Car accident, 1989. Lived in a Chelsea orphanage till 1991 when the school adopted him. I know all about it. Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's what I was referring to. The little setup earlier. He was reading all the files. He is very well aware of all of their past and current present, of course.
yeah, the things that they might be facing and the things they need to learn in which to get better.
Yeah, I was like, well, then you should also know that the last thing he needs right now is a sadistic father figure scaring the life out of him. And then Major Payne says, well, maybe what he needs is for you to pop your titty out of his mouth and let the boy grow up. It's like, excuse me? What did you say? I didn't stutter. I said, pop your titty out of his mouth and stop babying him. It's like, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, like, like he, as much as like he said it in a very harsh way, there's a bit of a point in there too. It's like you can't necessarily make people stronger by constantly coddling them. Like sometimes they do need to hear some hard things and then learn how to become stronger because of them.
Yeah. It's like, I don't call it babying, I call it nurturing. And he says, I call it neutering. Neutering. It's like, and I call you an insecure, overbearing, psychopathic, dictatorial, egomaniacal, frigid, lunatic asshole. And he just says,
I mean,
I ain't frigid.
Yeah, like he is sort of most of those things. Like, and he doesn't really deny it.
Yeah. And then Tiger comes back. He's still in there. It's like, oh.
And then we have what might be the best scene in the movie that I believe was in the trailer also.
Might have, but it's really funny. It's like, okay, I'm gonna show you nurturing, and then they go upstairs. They looks at the closet. He's in there. Just and then he gets out his sidearm and just fucking shoots the fucking closet six times.
Like a full mag into it.
If he's still in there, he ain't happy.
Yeah. And I mean, that makes Tiger feel really well. But just for the record, everybody, do not discharge a firearm into a closet in a building that has potentially other people on the other side of that wall.
Yeah.
Because actually, I can't really get a good look at what kind of sidearm he's using. But if that's a 45, like a 1911, then yeah, that's going through the wall.
I think what's even better is Tiger's reaction to this, because Miss Wellborn comes up. It's like, what was that? And he just comes around the corner. It's like, Major Payne just terminated that bad man with extreme prejudice.
I mean, hey, like it gave the kid a boost. He's like, yeah, well, maybe this guy actually is looking out for me.
Yeah.
Very unconventional way to prove it, but he made his point. Don't specifically do that though, everybody.
Yeah. It's like, that man ain't gonna bother you no more, so go to back. It's like, thank you, Major. I love you. And he's like,
Yeah.
I love his face here as well. It's like, the little kid is touching me. Gross. His fucking face.
It's like, it's so funny to think of being mean to that kid too, because he's so tiny and he's like such a cute little guy. You're just like, man, why would you ever want to be mean to him? It's like, I guess if you're his drill instructor, you kind of have to be.
But then he spins him around, puts him in a chokehold. What's your angle, boy? You plotting on me? No,
like
sir.
A full Nelson, yeah.
Don't you know I could snap your neck in 20 different places? I just stopped on this frame. He looks so scared and worried. He's like, oh god, he's gonna fucking kill me.
Just had a moment of comfort and
he's just trying to show you some
Tiger.
affection. Stop it. I don't like it. Make me feel all funny. But then they touch their hands. Ooh, that's lewd. And then it's like, good night, Miss Wolverine, good night. It's kind of a funny scene because they go in different directions and they make like a fun of it. This is like a trope where they just go in different directions, but Miss Wolverine runs into a wall because there's actually no hallway left, and she just turns around and goes back to the stairs. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, just like, okay, yeah, I can't storm off like this. I'll just give him a second to get a lead.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the first hint that, hey, maybe there's some chemistry developing here.
Yes. Pretty fun stuff. Hang on.
And yeah, okay, I guess this is where they go. Is this one they go to hire the guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go there since. So yeah, he hired a guy. It's like, okay, he did the thing. The one black kid who was being like, hey, funny how you handle those white fellas here. He's doing like a little sound off wreath, or he's doing a little dance, like mocks the things.
Yeah, he's doing a chant, which is rhyming, granted, but he's making fun of Major Payne.
Yeah.
Then he starts dancing.
Yeah, and then it's like,
he should have probably stopped when he saw all the rest of them freeze up.
Yeah. Well, he was really into it, I guess.
And then he just pretends he's doing jumping jacks.
Yeah. And then
Funny enough, while I can do a lot of physical stuff, jumping jacks are kind of one thing that my leg does not like at all.
But yeah, a guy on a motorcycle arrives. He gets rid of his little biker hood. And for me, because I didn't remember this guy here, I saw the head and immediately knew it was a wrestler. This is
I did not know that.
This is the late Bam Bam Bigelow. He was very popular back in the day.
I do recognize the name.
Yeah. Because like these tattoos, I know them. He has like a flames tattooed on his bald head. He's a very imposing man. But he was also like, if you don't know about him, he was like also like surprisingly agile for his size. Like he was a big chunky man. But he did like cartwheels and shit. He was crazy. He did backflips off the top rope as well. It was nuts.
I mean, yeah, if you can get strong enough to be able to carry that weight with agility, like you can do some pretty impressive stuff, even if you're a big boy.
Yeah, he could do moonsaults, exactly. It's he had like some crazy matches back in ECW. Oh god, man, it's so fun. He had a match against like a smaller guy, like in terms of wrestling he's like a normal guy, but he's smaller in terms of wrestling. He's like a bit more lanky. Shit, why the name escapes me right now? But it's like a famous thing that happened. He got him up and just threw him into the crowd. And I'm pretty sure back in the day they didn't use any plans or anything. He just actually threw them in the crowd, and they all just caught him. It was pretty fun. Yeah, it was, they did some fun shit in ECW back in the day. That was a fun promotion. Very, very violent at times as well, but also just really, really good wrestling. Anyway, there's my wrestling tangent I get for when the wrestler shows up. But yeah, they hired some biker to I don't know, beat up Major Payne, get rid of him, whatever it might be. And they're all watching. Throwing people is more impressive than you think, because people are very awkward, so they feel heavier than they are. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even though like hiring a huge dude that like might be in a biker gang, you should know that putting him up against the special forces operator is probably not like it's not a done deal that the big guy's gonna win, right? Like.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the guy comes here, is like, oh, blah, blah, blah. You couldn't cut it in the real man's military. And
he's like, no, I was actually just too deadly, and they just didn't need me anymore because I killed everyone I could possibly kill. Like, it's not like they kicked him out because he wasn't hitting the fitness standards or something like that.
It's like, I heard that it's time for you to leave. Know what I heard? I heard your mother was so fat she played pool with planets. Ooh! And he punches him in the face, like, yo, you thinking about leaving yet. It's like, oh, don't give me that Billy Jack bullshit. And then he does like some stuff with his feet. It's like, oh, you said you were gonna hit me in the face. And it's like,
Yeah, there you
well,
go. He's like, I'm gonna kick you in the face, and then he just shuffles his feet side to side, making him think a kick's coming. Then he just like crosses him to the face,
yeah,
and then knees him when he's hunched over.
yeah. So he beats him in like 3 punches and a kick or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
And walks over his body.
yeah. And then we get seen, well, someone's probably going to be responsible for this. Someone is responsible for the blood on my lips. Like, oh, don't run all at once. Someone's going to be. And Alex Stone rises up to the case. Like, it was me. They had nothing to do with this. This is.
And
all
this
me.
is how he earns the squad leader position, by taking responsibility for it when no one else would. Which, important to take responsibility for the things that you've done wrong and work to make up for them.
Yeah, because Major Payne's like, oh, what am I supposed to do with you? And it's like, I don't know, probably expel me. It's like, put you on a vacation? No way. And then it's like, Dodson, you're no longer the squad leader. Stone, you are now cadet sergeant.
Yeah.
And if these men win the Virginia military games, it's going to be because of you. You've led them to victory. And if they lose, it'll be because you failed them.
Yeah, and that is something you can say to a potential leader that could really get his head in the game.
Yeah. But he says, I don't accept that responsibility. And it's like, it's non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And then
you were
he
just
says,
given a position.
Yeah. He says, if I'm the new squad leader, my first order is to screw you, sir. It's like, why do you say to me, turd? Why don't you go back to hell where you came from?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to fire on all cylinders to get just kicked out.
And it's like, boy, I'm 2 seconds from being on you, like white on a rice and a glass of milk on a paper plate in a snowstorm. I will put my foot so far up your ass, the water on my knee will quench your thirst. And Stone says, try it. It's like, you want me gone, boy? Yes, sir. I said, do you want me gone, soldier? And it gets louder. Yeah. He just riles him up.
And at the same time, like, I think Stone doesn't realize he's saying that, like, yeah, I'm giving you a goal.
Yeah.
And I'm making sure that it's a goal that you want to achieve very badly so that you're going to be inspired to, like, actually lead your men to be able to help you with it.
Yeah. And it's like, well, then you meet me outside the ROTC building at 21 hours. You ladies want me gone? I'll give you a chance.
Yeah.
And basically he tells them, hey, do you know where the first place trophy from the Virginia military games is? And so, yeah, it's in Wellington Academy. And he basically tells them, well, I want the trophy. Go get it without being seen and bring it to me. If you pull that off, I will resign my command. And if not, then you lose, and we gotta go do the other thing. Yeah.
Hey, puppies.
Then, because if he says, like, if you're discovered, I will deny all knowledge, and you will pay the price. That is my deal. And they all accept it, because they now are a team.
Yeah.
And it's like, bring me the trophy. This is it. Our big chance to get rid of Payne. We got 2 miles to get to Wellington. Let's get it out of here as fast as we can. Move it.
And here, like, you kind of get a little glimpse at the weird thing about military courses where the course staff is being very, very hard on you. Mm-hmm. There is an element of going through hell together that does bring you closer together. And you kind of feel like you all went through that experience. You all had to kind of rely on each other, and it unifies you, And like, it's why people that I've been on courses with that I haven't seen in 10 years, if we sat down for a beer, it would be like we never missed a beat.
Yeah.
Because you just get to know them so well.
I mean, it's a pretty straightforward thing, like coming together in because there's a greater danger for everyone. So fuck the old little squabbles. We're gonna get rid of this bigger threat that none of us alone can take care of. So.
Yeah.
It just works. Right.
Yeah. It's sometimes shit when it's happening, though. But the funny thing is you look back on it and it's like, oh, yeah, we actually had a pretty good time on that course, didn't we?
Yeah. And then they move out, and it's like, hey Dotson, last chance you can do anything here. It's like, oh, you think you're gonna come help and make me look bad? I'm actually called my dad, and I'm gonna leave this stupid school. So now that he's not in charge anymore, he doesn't want any of this.
And that's the worst kind of leader, is the kind of leader who only wants to be a leader because of the power. That is not what you want in someone commanding you, because generally they're the guys who will probably end up breaking under pressure when you really need a strong leader, because they don't really care about you. They care about feeling better than you.
Yes. Absolutely. But they also tell Tiger to stay back and guard the base because he's a bit too small. Which, yeah, no, well, I get it. I get it. They don't want to.
Hey, honestly, they probably could have used him as a lookout.
Yeah, that's true.
But I guess we've got to also start Tiger's arc here too.
Yeah. It's like, hey, whoa, where are you going? No, wait, that's the wrong line here. Oh god, this is the train story.
Yeah. Inspiring to the kid.
Yeah. It's like, what's the matter with you, boy? They won't let me go on the Black Op operation. They say I'm too little. Oh, no one lets you anything do when you're too little. And Payne's like, pooey. What about all these stories about little people that do big things? Like Little Red Riding Hood, them 3 little pigs. Spike Lee? Little rascals? And then he tells him the story about the little engine that could. And as you can imagine, this story doesn't go quite as you would expect. I'm just going to read it out here from the script because it's actually quite funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's like, you ever hear the story about the little engine that could? Let me tell you that story. Once upon a time, deep in the jungle, there was a little engine that could. He was chugging his way across the enemy line. Chugga, 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 chugga. Toot, toot. This little engine's mission was to take some AK-47s and a nuclear payload over the mountain to the 26th 3 Battalion. Needless to say, there was plenty of opposition. You think that stopped the little engine that could? No siree, Bob. He just kept chugging along. Chugga, 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 chugga. Toot, toot. Not even when they climbed aboard the train and popped out the eyes of the conductor and blood and snot was dripping out his eye sockets. You think that stopped the little engine that could? Damn Skippy, he just kept chugging along. Chugga, 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 chugga. Toot, toot. It wasn't until Charlie rigged the bridge with plastic explosives. Just as the little engine was making its way across the trestle, boom! An explosion happened, and blood and guts and spit and ass was everywhere. And Bubba come crawling out the back door, both legs missing. Lullaby's baby boy, he looked up at me and said, Payne, I can't feel my legs. I said, Bubba, they ain't there. And I looked down at their little bloody nubs. No, where did it go? Oh, I was super into
luckily,
it.
I did not have to go through that kind of experience when I lost my legs. I was anesthetized for surgery, and it was cut off in a hospital. So, bit of a different scene. Wasn't fun, though, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. And I looked down, and them little bloody nubs was kicking real fast, like this here. And I said, Bubba, it's less you can't flip upside down and walk out on your hands, you ain't gonna make it. All of a sudden, Charlie was all over the place and was just me and my sidearm, and I had no other alternative but to blast my way out. Die, pig, die! You'll never take Major Benson Winfried Payne alive! Bam! I saw what you did to my friend! Bam! And then Miss Wilburn is here. Major! Bam, bam, bam! Oh, hello, Miss Wilburn. You just missed a little bedtime story.
Yeah, like at this one, it's like, wait, is he having a flashback now? Like, what about the little train?
That's what's happening, yes.
What happened to the train?
And like Tiger is just sitting in bed. He goes like, oh, God.
Yeah, God, not a bad way to scare a kid out of ever wanting to be in the army.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. I like it. It's really funny. It's like, no, I didn't actually miss this story. Maybe we could talk about it over dinner. Like, okay, I'll get ready. Me too. All right, goodbye. And he looks at Tiger. To be continued. When I come back, I'll tell you what Baba used as a penis. Uh,
Well, and luckily, my penis was fine after my amputation.
hooray! But yeah, they have a little dinner where they talk about stuff. And there's another scene where he's having some chicken with rice, and he eats it really quickly. And so, what, you ain't gonna eat? It's like, my stomach is a little upset right now. Maybe later. It's like, them some mighty fine victuals. Shouldn't let him go to waste. And it's like, oh, what you tried to do for Tiger tonight, very nice, but maybe make them a little less colorful, your stories. A little less blood and guts, if you will. and it's like, it was a bit rough. And Bear's like, you mean like the explosion? Yeah, and the eye gouging part. You need to loosen up. Not everything has to be about war. And then she was like, what do you do for fun? Like when you're not working? I was like, I like to hang upside down blindfolded, take my gun apart and put it back together before my nose starts to bleed. And he's just like, oh, that's great, but is there anything that you like that doesn't have to do with battle? And he's like what? Golf? Negative. Movies? Nope. Dance? Oh, I've been known to cut a little rug in my day. And then
I mean, yeah, which is not super expected.
Yeah, and then he does the robot, and he just does a little dance. And then there's this, I don't know what the song is called, but the refrain is like, hey, pop that coochie, baby, pop that coochie.
Yeah, it's a song that doesn't seem like it super fits in this movie.
No,
but it's a very funny physical comedy scene though.
I love yeah, it's the chorus, yeah. Yo, club song. But yeah, they're just having a great old time. And yeah, it's like 2 minutes of them just dancing and Major Payne loosening up. That's pretty. Just having some good times. He does the moonwalk backwards and forwards. He does some moves. Everyone's having a great time. But we go and check on our boys where they go to the other school.
The Black Op.
Yeah, he just had some nasty club songs in the 90s. Oh yeah, there's some fun stuff for sure. I was like, hey, you go left flank of the school, I go in there, you take to go to the right. And yeah, basically they go inside, but they get caught immediately because they were expected. They also get beat up quite extensively. They all get their asses beat.
Go through a little bit more hell together.
Yeah, that's basically it. They get caught because it seems like somebody snitched. What? That's crazy. And back at our school, they arrive back and it's like, hey, you never been married? Oh, I was, but I wanted kids. He didn't. So yeah, it was fun stuff.
It is important that you're on the same page about that.
Yeah. And it's like, what's your story? I'm surprised you ain't dropped about 12 puppies by now. And you never been married? I was. Yeah. What happened? You terminate his command. So he's still like using the military lingo all the time.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And it's like, actually, he left. I want to show him he didn't. And he says, any man that leave you ought to be monkey stomped and have his brains nailed back to his mother. It's like, gee.
Man. Yeah, well, it's I guess that's a compliment.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what about you? Was there ever a Mrs. Payne? It's like, negative. I figured if the Marines wanted me to have a wife, they'd have issued me one. And it's like, well, a really nice night tonight, Benson. It's like, heck, being with you is almost better than cleaning my gun. I was like, I got some of you. Oh, what is it? It's a bullet. It's something special. It's from the heart. It's like, really? Well, where'd you get it? It's like, from my heart, left ventricle. Took it out myself with a field knife.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it would be possible to heal from that if it only hit cardiac muscle tissue and didn't go through the actual chamber, which like is where the blood is. Because if blood is leaking out of your heart, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess still not good. Like anything damaging your heart is very bad.
And then they have a kiss. They did a kiss.
Yeah.
And it's like, good night, princess. And then he goes like, wee-hoo, doggy. He's very excited.
Yeah. Probably the first time we've seen genuine happiness out of him.
Yeah. Plug it with your finger. Yeah, put a thumb in it like Kentucky Ballistics. If you're aware of that story or that YouTuber.
I'm not, but
it's a gun tuber. He has like his own range and everything. That's the guy whose gun exploded and put a hole in his throat. So he had to he just put his thumb in it, so he didn't die.
Yes, that actually is probably your best bet if you don't have any kind of dressing like on you. And God, but I mean, neck injuries are a pain in the ass though, even to bandage when you do have the proper supplies, because you can't circumferentially wrap a bandage around a neck. And I'd imagine I wouldn't have to explain why, but a bleed requires pressure, and putting pressure on someo's neck is a good way to just kill them. So you got to kind of wrap it around the torso and the shoulder, and it's not fun.
It was like a high caliber gun as well. Oh shit, what was the gun? Was it a 40 cal or something? No, wait.
Jesus.
No, I think it was the big sniper rifle. Fuck, I know the name all the time.
I mean, honestly, like any rifle round would not be good to be hit in the neck with.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess was it just it was just a piece of the like shrapnel from the exploding weapon. Yeah, okay, so I guess it's a Barrett, like a 50 cal.
Yeah, I think so. With like the big thing in front as well. So yeah, that thing exploded while he was aiming down the sights.
That is a lot of gunpowder to be going off in a contained space.
Yeah, I think it was a Barrett 50 cal.
Yeah, like take a look at the size of a Barrett 50 cal round versus like an AR-15 round, and it's like looks like comparing a Nerf toy to a real bullet. It's like you're just like, whoa, that's a pretty big difference there.
Yeah, so yeah,
and it's less about the size of the projectile and more about how much gunpowder is behind it, because it's a lot of force.
Yeah, someone in chat said he had like bad ammo which exploded, so that almost fucking killed him. And now he has shirts about it.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, well, he was doing a YouTube video, and then that happened. So yeah, but he's fine. He's doing very well. He seems to be a funny lad. He did like videos with the slow-mo guys as well, and he has like some videos of like crazy guns, like a punt gun, I think it's called, which is like on rails. He has like all kinds of crazy guns he shot on the channel. It's fun stuff.
Yeah, neat. Maybe we'll check it out.
Absolutely, I would recommend it. It's fun stuff. Anyway, Stone is in Payne's office, and he isn't even looking at him. He's like, "What the hell are you doing in my office?" I was like, "Well, did you tell him? Did you put a little trap?" And he's like, "I might have made a little anonymous call." And it's like, "You didn't think they were just gonna give it to you, right?" It's like, "We got the crap kicked out of us because of you." And he says like, "Tonight wasn't about fair or unfair. It was about you achieving your objective. Did you? Did you even see that trophy?" It's like, "Oh, I saw it. And when you saw it, did you want it?" "Yeah, to get rid of you." "That's not what I asked."
Yeah.
"Did you want it?" "I wanted to own it." "Yeah." "Deserve it?" "Yeah." "To win it?" "Oh, yeah." And yeah, let's win it, you bruised up turd.
Yeah, like you're saying, look, man, you got to where you needed to be, and you saw the goal, and it is still something you can get, but you have to bring your team together and work for it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I like it a lot, actually. It's like, yeah, you have a goal. You really want to achieve it right now, don't you? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, then I'm going to show you how to win it if you really want it. And then we cut to the next day, because we need a little... I didn't mention before, but Michael Ironside is in this movie.
Yeah. Not a long time, but yeah, he does show up.
Yeah, he stumbles across the grass, basically. And yeah, it's Alex Stone's dad.
It's crazy though to have Michael Ironside in a movie like this and have him not be playing a soldier.
It's well, he's an ex-soldier, I guess, right?
Yeah. Oh, I guess that's true.
But yeah, it's like, what the hell happened to you? It's like, me? Nothing. I'm great. Look at you, though. Regular little soldier man. You're a hard ass now? And he's like being like overbearing and annoying, basically. It's like, okay, what are you even doing here, Dad? It's like, well, it's Parents' Day. I don't think he's even his dad. He's just his legal guardian. I just read that here in the script.
Oh, well.
So I guess he's not really his
Stepfather
or something. Yeah. And he's like, well, you're drunk. And he tries to go away. It's like, oh, don't you try to walk away from me. He's like, give me a little salute. And he says, I'm not going to salute you. And he's like, oh, but you're going to salute to your superiors. Don't they teach it around here? It's like, what superior? They kicked you out, remember? And they're like, don't you sass me like your mother. You're mine now. It's like, I own you. It's like, oh, shit. He's not a nice fella, is he? He's
a bad man in this one.
He even gives him a little slap across the face with the backhand. It's like, you will respect me, now salute me. It's like, no, and he's about to punch him again, but Major Payne is here. It's like, you hit that boy again, I'm gonna do more than salute you. Oh yeah, actually Payne says it. This is between me and my son, and he says stepson. It's like, oh yeah, wait, does Payne say it or? Oh no, Alex says that. Sorry, yeah. I thought Payne said that. It's like, whoever he is, he's on my time now. Now I'm gonna ask you nicely, please return to your vehicle. And yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's important. You gotta take care of your men, even when it seems like they've got issues that are outside the scope of what you need to care about. Like if they're there and you're responsible for them, everything that happens to them is your responsibility.
Yeah. The stepdad also tries to punch Major Payne, but he just dodges him and pushes him over. And then asks him, I'm going to ask you nicely, please return to your vehicle. And he does, because, yeah, you don't want to fuck around with Major Payne. Because he's going to inflict some major pain on you. Oh!
Yeah, that would be in the joke.
And then Alex looks at him, is like, Major Payne, sir, I want to get that trophy. Come again? I want to get that trophy. What, you want to steal it? No, I want to earn it. It's like,
damn right.
Do the rest of you men feel the same way? And they all say yes.
Yeah, and now you've got a team.
Yeah, we got a
you
team.
have a goal that they're willing to work for.
What is that? Like a coherent story? What is happening?
Yeah. It's like a silly, stupid 90s comedy, but like there is still a story here happening. Like the characters have arcs and like they go on journeys.
Yeah. What's
nice.
What's the story in my Goober movie? Go away.
I mean, yeah, it's important to have a heart in a movie like this, especially when you're dealing with the idea of leading younger people. Like, having a good sort of moral to share is, I think, makes films like this much more effective than if they're just silliness.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just nice to see basic storytelling was a thing at some point. And even in Goober movies, they adhere to it. It's almost like...
Yeah, because, I mean, like, at this point in the movie, I think most of us care about Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we want him to now achieve his goal, especially after seeing kind of where he's come from in that, like, previous scene. And, yeah, and they're all sort of working on becoming better soldiers or reserve officer training people, cadets.
But yeah, we get our training montage.
We're gonna have a montage. Army training montage.
Also, the death feller, he does like crazy shit with his gun. He just throws it up and it goes really hard.
He's very, very good at catching a rifle in midair. Now, we never do stuff like this in the Army, at least not anything I've ever done where we're doing like crazy twirls and stuff with our rifles. But
and you know what? Major Payne even lets Miss Wilburn use the whistle.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoa.
Now it's official.
So yeah, there's our classic montage. It's just nice and basic. really easy. It shouldn't be this hard all the time, but yeah, there you go. We did it. Now they have like little uniforms on and everything. And yeah, that's doing things. From now on, you're no longer turds. You've graduated to maggots. So yeah, that's nice. You're a family, a team. Let's win those games. But oh, we need our last bit of drama. Because the general is here. It's like, Major, I have news so good, I've decided to deliver it personally. America needs you. There's a situation in Bosnia that requires your special services. As of this moment, you are reinstated in the United States Marines at the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. Or Lieutenant, whatever you prefer.
Lieutenant's what we say in the Canadian military, but
yeah,
it's I think they say lieutenant in America.
And he's like, thank you, sir.
That is how it's spelt. It's just said weird because we do British pronunciations for some things here. Hey, Jojo.
It's like, yeah, your unit will be leaving out of Washington. You will arrive tomorrow at 1600 for briefing. Here are your tickets. Tomorrow at the military games. And I was hoping, games? Payne, I fought to get you reinstated. You wanted in. I got you in. You don't take this, there won't be any more chances. Sir, the major will be there, sir. Good man, as he watched things. So, uh-oh. Now, obviously, our squad is not happy because, like, wow, you're just gonna leave us now?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the biggest fan of the reaction. I mean, I understand that they're disappointed, but it's like, yeah, but there's like a mission I have to do, which is like a threat to America. Yeah. So, sorry, I guess.
Yeah, and you like, I don't know, being in the military, I guess if your superior does get called for like an actual operation, you should be pretty supportive of them. But I mean, like, these are just kids though, right? So,
yeah.
For them, they like got a role model, like a father figure, and now he's leaving them, and they're at a school where it seems like a lot of them are kind of come from situations where their fathers left or died. Hey, puppy, your dad's right here. Don't you worry.
But yeah, it's like, oh. So where you going back to killing? And you just ask, you want to come? You want to join me? And it's like, I didn't think so. It's like, go lead your team to victory. It's like, oh, great, what happened to unity and stuff? And it's like, oh, didn't you ever watch Oprah? I never said families don't break up. And it's like, oh, yeah, so you're just gonna leave, right? It's like,
pretty rough thing to say to these kids, though, too.
And then we have a scene between Major Payne and the missus. Like, they're just gonna, when they're through with you, they're just gonna cut you loose again, right? And it's like, I asked to leave. Them boys are making me soft. Them boys need you. And it's like, all that hard work they did for you. It's like, they did it for themselves. It's like, look, woman, I toured. I didn't do that to come back and be conquered by no woman and a bunch of kids. It's like, what do you really think I was gonna do? Marry you? Put up a white picket fence? Adopt Tiger and become the loving male role model? That's not me. It's not Payne.
Pretty happy ending, though.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty good ending.
Probably have a great life if you did do that.
I was like, you're no good heartbreaker. You're a liar and you're a cheat, and I don't know why I let you do these things to me. I think whatever.
He's effectively having his military relapse.
Pretty much, yeah. And the team is like, wow, what the fuck we're gonna do now? It's like, well, we're gonna go to the games and fucking win them. We did all this training, so we better use it. It's like, but without Payne, we can't do it. It's like, no, we'll do it anyway. We're fine. So yeah, Stone is taking the lead. He's the team leader now. We busted our asses, going for all this to come out empty-handed. So they're all on his side.
Yeah, he developed a leader.
Yeah. So they go to the games, and they do pretty well, actually. They make it all the way to second place, even without Major Payne. So all the training has been has been paid off. They punch each other, they do the runnings, they do the obstacles, everything. So they've been doing kind of well. They're doing all right. So the training has paid off. And then we see Payne at the train station, looking at a thing he got from Tiger, like a little painted rock or something, and then he fantasizes about the white picket fence, adopted tiger, and killing a Charlie that's coming out of the bushes in his front yard. That's his perfect scenario. Like Wilbur gets her some lemonade. He has like a little apron on that says "Kiss the cook," and then there's like this one guy coming from behind the tree, and he just fucking stabs him to death, and he's like having a great time, and even the wife is like, isn't that nice? And the train arrives, and we cut away. And if you've seen movies before, you know he's already on his way back.
Yeah, that much is pretty clear.
Yeah, it's just nice and basic. You know, you don't always have to do complicated. It's nice and basic. And we go to the next, to the second to last thingy. That's the obstacle course / I don't know, running thingy.
Yeah. Oh, it's a sprint at the end.
Yeah, it was sprint at the end, and
Dotson trips Stone.
Oh, was that Dotson? I thought it was just Oh, he went to the other academy. Oh, okay. I thought it was just a random guy. I didn't realize it was Dotson.
Yeah, no, it's Dotson.
Oh yeah, I just saw the close up. I didn't even realize I was watching that. That's fair. That makes sense.
It's one of the reasons why he had a vested interest in being like, yeah, you took my squad leader position. Fuck you.
Yeah, because he tripped him, and that makes him
sprains his ankle.
Only get second place, and yeah, fucks up his ankle exactly. And now
kind of crawls across the finish line too.
Now one of the teammates is angry, and he goes over there and punches him straight in the face, and a big old squabble happens. They beat each other up. It's like, you bastards. And they go to the committee leader guy or whatever. It's like, demand that the Madison squad be disqualified from the final competition. It's like, no, I cannot disqualify the cadet who started the disturbance. And it's like, look at them. They don't even have their major here. And then Major Payne appears. To the rescue. It's like, ain't no need for name calling. So yeah, he is back.
Yeah, made his decision. He realized that, like, yeah, you know, man, like, you've done a lot for the military, and maybe there's a pretty good life you could have here.
It's like, what would be more important than winning this competition with my boys? Is that okay with you, Colonel? Yeah, we do it. So Wellington Academy and Madison Academy are second and first, and they have a military off. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a drill presentation.
Yeah, drill presentation, exactly. But, which I really like, they don't just accept that he's back. It's like, well, you were on vacation. We've been having some real trouble. Like, why would we just fucking trust you right now? You basically abandoned us. And Benjamin's like, what? You did well without me. You made second place already. And I was like, why did you come back? Did you come back for us? Like, we don't need you. I was like, well, I came back for me.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. It's like, maybe I told myself that I want to see you win in the first place and ain't gonna leave until you do. Ooh. It's like, so that's it? It's all about the trophy? And he's like, maybe I like you. Just like. Maybe I like you a lot. That's it? And it's like, don't push the maybe, baby.
Yeah, that's a great line.
Yeah. I was like, well, now go. Let's win that thing. It's like, we have nobody to lead the drill. It's like, of course we do. Tiger. It's like, are you crazy? That boy knows the drill like the knob of the back of his head. And then we have to wrap up Tiger's story. It's like, I can't do it. I'm too little. Like, but hey, he's like the little train that could. So he's gonna do it.
As long as he can shout loud enough that they can all hear him, that's all you really need to run drill.
And ladies and gentlemen, Madison Preparatory School drill team leader, Private Kevin Tiger Dunn. And they have like a hip hop song running, and they do their big old drill, and it's you see the the judges like tap their feet, so they're obviously into it.
Yeah.
And it's a big old presentation. The black guy that's deaf, he's like doing doing his big
Really
crazy
insane rifle drill tricks.
yeah. Even blindfolded, he's doing it blindfolded. He's going fucking crazy. But yeah, he's foxing it up because that's his name, Fox. I don't know why I only remember that now, all the way at the end. But there you go. I did eventually. But yeah, they do that and they win. They win the competition. And yeah, individual cadet achievement, Cadet Alex Stone. He got his own little trophy on top of
Got
the
a
military
commendation
one.
plaque, I think. Yeah.
And it's in the middle of the school hall in a little display. Well, a big display, really. And then we cut to the next year, where the next row of people comes around. And Alex Stone is still the leader here, so he kind of found his calling, it seems like.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like he's getting the next one. And then there's like a dog running around, which is very clearly a service dog because he has like the thing on his back.
It's got the big like plastic handle.
And he's like, he's my blind seeing eye dog. And he's like angry. It's like, oh, you and your friend Cujo here got a little attitudinal problem. I'm gonna fix it up quick, fast, in a hurry. Hey, Corporal. And Tiger is still here. He's a corporal now.
Yeah.
Go tell Mama, bring the field knife, he says. And then we cut to them being bold again.
Which makes you think, like, does that imply that he shaved all of their heads personally with a knife?
Yeah. And
blind guy's hair is gone.
Yeah.
Not too dissimilarly from Alex's scene in the beginning of the movie. And they shaved the dog.
They shaved the dog, yeah. And then he goes like,
Don't worry. You'll never be shaved, Jojo. It's fine. You're a good puppy.
Does like the big laugh. And the end. Roll credits. What a nice little movie. I really enjoyed this one. It's
it was nice.
Cheesy, funny, offensive enough to be funny on top of being funny, I guess. I don't know, it's just
like there's some pretty good just genuine laughs like that are well done, even though it is like it seems like, especially considering like the first action scene and how Damon Wayans talks, it all kind of seems like it's just going to be ridiculous, but you know, there's like the Cosmic Vader just said there's a lot of heart in this movie too, and I think that makes it a really nice one to revisit.
Yeah, I think it has like the right amount of being juvenile in places and being over the top to the children, and it's just the classics, like be mean, call the little chubby kid a pig boy or dough man, to call the deaf guy handicap man or whatever, and it's like, oh man, I like when they did this in a fun way, and just putting a little identity thing in there, but just flip it around. It's like, oh, you like what I've been doing to these white boys? You seeing a guy in color being in charge, and then just makes him do squats as well because he's in charge and has nothing to do with any identity.
Yeah, skin color doesn't matter. It's just your position in a military setting. That's the only thing that matters.
And just the story that he says, and every time it goes back to military stuff, and then him having to lighten up and just chill out and get the happy ending. Nice and basic. Metal enjoys when the disabled are bullied, take the attention away from him.
Yes. Yeah, you know, he's pretty hard on me, but it's fine.
Back then it probably
Jojo
wasn't.
Like looks up at me. She's like, "Who's hard on you?" Don't worry, Jojo. I was kidding.
Yeah. Back then it probably wasn't even seen as identity stuff. They just thought it was funny. Oh, probably it wasn't seen in that lens. But
well, I mean, like, I guess it's shown in a way that it's like bringing up identity in that context is ridiculous, and the person who kind of understands the scenario points it out as being ridiculous. It's like, no, like, you're not automatically my favorite recruit because we have the same skin color. Like,
exactly, yeah. And just a nice feel-good story. As you said, it's like akin to the whole sports movies where they have to raise up their team and have like a great comeback at the end and win the championship or whatever. It's
training a group of misfits who very well should have no chance at winning,
mm-hmm.
and actually finding a way to turn those kids into champions.
Exactly, just nice and simple. Good to see. I'm glad it held up to from when I watched it. Whenever I watched this, when I was a teenager or something. So yeah.
Yeah, I might have
Fun
rented
stuff.
this movie on VHS once, but I've not seen it in probably like close to 20 years, I guess. Yeah, that'd be 1995 to now. Oh my God, it's longer than that, isn't it? It's 30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I probably haven't seen this movie in 30 years, but yeah, holds up.
Good stuff. I saw it a lot on cable. I wouldn't be surprised if I've seen it on the telly back in the day. Yeah. When I was still watching television, I guess. God, probably had ad breaks in there too. I don't even know what that feels like anymore.
Yeah.
Which is good because ads suck.
Yep.
But yeah, that's that. Nice little movie. Good selection from the list. I like it.
Yeah, if you've not seen it, it's a nice one to go back and watch.
Yeah, would recommend. Go check it out. I think it's a very fun movie. Very fun.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in between, we got a super chat by Hyperbolic Ninja, $5. Thank you very much. I was tear gassed and hit with a beanbag round at a concert where NoFX was singing "F the Police" after the police tried to shut it down because of moshing. Oh boy!
Wow,
that sounds like a bad time.
Yeah, punk mosh pits can get pretty rough, but yeah, NoFX is pretty good though.
Oh god, I remember when I was at a concert once and there was a mosh pit in front of me, but one guy in front of me had like massive ultra spikes on his jacket, and I was like, I'm gonna stand back here. I'm just gonna
maybe
try
not
to get stabbed.
Not get too close to that guy, because one of those hits you in the eye, it could be pretty bad.
Yeah, it was like like long ones as well. They were pointy. I was like, that's gonna hurt me for sure. I'm just gonna chill out here.
I used to be something of a mosher, but that was in my much younger days.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can probably wrap it up there.
I mean,
and we did have the gifted membership from Psychotic Mongoose as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very kind of you, Mongoose.
Thank you very much for that, of course. Well. Yeah, that's that. We're doing a short man today. Sorry, not sorry. But I think
can actually sleep at a reasonable hour today.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out, because I slept pretty long today, so I don't know. We'll see. I think Cap is currently streaming something himself. Let me see if I can send you over there with the redirect feature. I don't know if he has that activated, though. Let's see. Oh god, it's so annoying to...
I did watch that Long Legs movie that he hated the other day. It's strange. I don't know if I enjoyed it really. It's boring, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Okay. Kind of interesting, but
no idea.
Nicolas Cage being weird, but he's not in much of the movie. It's you know who the star is though? It's the girl from It Follows. You ever see that movie?
It Follows. I don't. Did I see that Follows? I feel like I've watched it randomly with Mauler at some point.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's better than Long Legs.
I don't really remember it anymore though. Let me see.
I just remember we were talking about Long Legs on the anniversary stream, and Cap is the one who notoriously says it's absolutely garbage and it sucks. I was intrigued enough by it as I was watching it, but I don't know that I'd go out of my way to recommend it.
Okay, I can't send you over to Cap because he has not activated it, so sorry. He had his chance, but go watch him anyway. He's streaming right now.
Right.
Probably good. He's what is he talking about? The Vitch with a double V. So it's VVITCH. Weird. But yeah, go hang out there if you want to. But with that said, just short. No Forge next week. I'll maybe try to play some video games or whatever, because next week I have to do tons of shit to be prepped for when I'm over at Mahler's. So you still get Forges when I'm gone.
Yeah, and we are recording 2 this week.
Yes, we're recording 2 of them. We're doing The Batman and the first set of the Penguin Forge
Episodes 1 to 4 of Penguin.
Exactly. So while I'm gone, you get a nice little arc of the Batman and the Penguin. So I think you're gonna enjoy that because the Penguin was really good. But yeah, that's going on. I have like tons of other stuff to do. So yeah, we're skipping next week. So you need to find something else to do, I'm afraid. But I'm sure you'll all manage. In any case, tomorrow I'm going to be playing some Indiana. Yeah, I'll keep switching up the name anyway, so who cares? Indiana Jones games, because he's on the Game Pass, so might as well give it a little checking outings. And that's what's going to be happening. Yeah. Anything else?
All right. No. I'm mostly just kind of focusing on military stuff for the next couple weeks, doing a lot of working out and trying to get my my medical situation in order. And I have a appointment on Tuesday where I'm hoping to be like, yeah, can we formally send something up to the people reviewing my file to say, yeah, I'm not really, you don't need to get rid of me. I'm an expensively trained med tech that you should probably keep hanging on to. But, I'll see how it goes. And if not, I'll get medically released and have to find my own job. Maybe I'll teach cadets or something.
Do it. All right, very well. Well, chat, thanks for hanging out. It's been fun, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Yeah. Take it easy, guys.